lucky.
Welcome, one and all, to another live stream edition of the Hard Rock Show. This one is fittingly called Embrace the Chaos, and my fucking God, are we already there? We are having fun. We had Dave jumping in and saying something random, which is funny because it chopped up right as you were saying it, so the timing was immaculate. Conrad dropped out and then jumped back in the duration of the intro going on, so it's been me in the back end is like, oh, fuck, I've been trying to run this thing from the go. But anyway, this is going to be fun tonight. Like I was saying, it's called Embrace the Chaos. That's the theme for tonight. We'll get in the comments, say hi to everyone in just a second. But just so you get a bit of a run through here, we're going to do a big thank you to everyone here, obviously, first of all. So, Conrad, you made it, so thanks for jumping in. So with Jeff, as always. You'll see Dave as in his pretty pink hat with a special guest there in Jade, who, if you've been watching our Monoskin review from a while back, you'll have seen Jade in the past, for that one at least, if nothing else. And she is now the proud, participant in our second most viewed video, I think, something like that. So there we go. Well done to Jane and Dave. We are going to do some things like songs of the week. That is coming up. A big thank you to everyone tuning in now with us live. Make sure you jump in the comments, say hi. If you're tuning in later on, give us your thoughts there as well. We're going to do songs of the week. We got build a playlist rounds 8 and 9. So I've got a couple of those ones. Oh, God, here we go. I'm waiting for the hoedown from the Simpsons style. And then we got Embrace the Chaos is what's going to be coming up after, where we're going to be taking some conversation topics from Patreon supporters to have some fun with things tonight. Reference tracks, all that sort of stuff in the description box. Links for us as well. So like, follow, subscribe, all you. This is, as you can tell, this is going to be a fun evening. Jody says hello to everyone as always. Make sure you check out our Patreon page as well.
Save it.
What have we got here? We got Rowan. Rowan is here giving us the horns as always. BC's here. Good to see you again, buddy. Going hello, people. Same with Michael. Good to see you as always. Johnny's joined us. Good to see you too. Same with Nick. Hey team, let's all embrace the chaos. That is going to be the theme for tonight. Terry's here saying hi, guys. David's here saying g'day, all the best. Thank you everyone for jumping in. Let us know where you're from if you're tuning in for the first time as well. That'd be great to get that bit out there as well. Now, we do have Jade to throw to in a minute, but I'm going to do a few little housekeeping bits and pieces here before we get stuck into it. Oh, here we go. Julia's here. Rory says Jade is the best. He may be somewhat biased. That's okay. He should be biased. Jade has done a great job. Good to see you, Julia. Hopefully you're keeping well.
Julia.
Love to you and to Rory.
Hey, son, I do this every week.
Yeah, but you're old hat now, man. That's how it works.
No, I know. I'm pink hat.
That's my hat.
It's not your hat anymore. It's my hat.
Good hat.
There's your buddy go. All right, cool. Alrighty. Some housekeeping before we get into this. Some new Patreons have joined us, so we're going to shout out to Kieran and John, who jumped into the platform, and Elliot upgraded his membership as well. And for some free members as well, we got Brett, Nick, and Mark. Thank you for jumping in. There is a free tier, so that is a do a weekly update where I can, just of what's going on, what we've been doing, that sort of stuff. Been a bit tricky the last couple of weeks, but normally I try. That's my goal, is to do a weekly update. So just treat that like a mailing list so you can keep up to date with everything we've got going on. But all those things being said, we are here with the lady of the moment. So, Dave, introduce your daughter to those that don't know and why she's here for the Embrace the Chaos aspect of things tonight.
Okay, this is my baby girl, Jade. She's not a baby anymore. She's now a teenager, which is troublesome and worrying, but she's awesome. And because you're a teenager, you're supposed to be all bad and angsty, but apparently you actually really love them.
Always worry when the girls become teenagers, Jade. Don't worry.
Nah, I'm not worried at all. You're a champion. Yeah. Anyway, Jade loves music, obviously, because her parents both love music. So she, in the spirit of Embrace the Chaos, I was talking to her and said that she had a question that she wanted to pose to the THRS panel and the audience at large. Yeah. Or if the audience wants to ask Jade a question, jump in the comments and ask away. But do you want to? What is your question? What do you want people to discuss?
Do you listen to songs in other languages? And if you do you translate the lyrics?
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to just give me a moment here because I'm going to have some fun with this. I'm going to play with a randomizer because I'm going to draw out who's going to go first in answering these questions as we go through. So give me a second. So in the audience, there's a question there for you as well always. But first up is Conrad. So you get to answer the question first. Do you listen to music not in English? And if you do you translate it? That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah. Sometimes I might listen to some world music, maybe. Yep. Occasionally, like if it's on a soundtrack to something, and I might check that out and go, "Who's that?" As far as investigating the lyrics, probably not. Although I've been told I probably wouldn't like some of the lyrics of the likes of Rammstein. Bit perverted, I understand. Well, not necessarily wouldn't like, but I'd be maybe shocked at what they have to say. I really don't, as far as check out the lyrics, unless it's something that's really grabbed me. But as far as foreign bands go, no, I don't listen to a lot of foreign bands in regards to their languages. Bands that sing in different languages, no, not particularly. That's
all right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Dave, you got drawn out next, so over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And part of it is my own journey before joining the Hard Rock Show. Part of it is very much from what we discover because we cover a lot of different things. Nightwish, obviously being from Finland, do a lot of songs, at least one song per album in Finnish. And bands we discovered like The Who and Alien Weaponry, and of course Rammstein. And there's a lot that we come across. There's that that very party folk. There's a band, but yeah, I've never actually checked out their lyrics. But Nightwish, especially on Once with John Tuhawk. Which one?
Kopaklani, is that what you're thinking?
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. Don't need to check out what the English translation is of that band because you just know it's joyous, it's infectious. You can tell from the tone of the voice. But Nightwish, John Tuhawk's in Quick Mary Blood translated that because it was captivating what he was saying. So there's a lot of bands that you can tell from the way they perform the lyrics, whether you want to or not, go and dig deeper into what they're actually saying. So it's actually quite fascinating with the use of different languages still being able to convey emotion. So yeah, definitely. Depending on the band and time permitting, yeah, I do check out the translations, and yeah, I do listen to a lot of bands in different languages.
Yep. Cool. Alrighty, Jeff, you're up.
Yes, I do actually. I listen to a lot of bands, mostly. I'll be honest, Japanese bands. So my brother, being a big fan of Japanese J-pop, J-rock, and all that stuff, and so over the years, he's introduced me to a number of bands: Malice Mizar, Luna Sea, X Japan, and of course they've released songs in English as well as Japanese. And so when you get into them, right, and if you like them, you're like, if they do sing a song in Japanese, you go like, well, geez, what are they singing about? And so I've looked it up and followed along and stuff like that. I quite like it, enjoy it. I've been a fan of that stuff of music really probably since, like, especially X Japan, probably since the late 80s. Honestly, I've been following them that long, and my brother, lucky little bugger, he got to see them a couple years back. They toured in Canada, and he went and saw them. Of course, it was like a lifetime dream time for him to do that. But yeah, I do. So long story short, I do. So I listen to what Dave mentioned about Nightwish and stuff. I have occasionally looked up some of the lyrics and stuff that they've done as well. But mostly it's just been the X Japan and the Japanese connection stuff. Yeah. Yep. Good question, Jade.
Yeah, no, it's a great one. I'll go. There's actually I've noticed some comments and questions for Jade, so I'll get to those ones in a moment. But to answer the question myself, definitely. I mean, everyone that knows me has been watching the show for a while will know, for example, Rammstein will be the first point of call that everyone will know that I absolutely adore that band. But a band that I also champion out of Germany is a band called Subway to Sally. And those two bands keep my German relatively a little bit not. It stops from completely fading out. It's not as good as it used to be, but it stops from completely fading away into nothing. My ex was from Germany, and so spent a bit of time over there. So I've got a lot of love for that place and its people and all that kind of stuff. But in addition to that, very similar answer to what Dave said too, in that things we check out on the show. So when it comes to bands like The Who out of Mongolia, or into Alien Weaponry with New Zealand, even in the Maori tongue, like those things for me, those are ones, because German, I've got an idea about what's going on. The other ones I tend to go and translate and look it up and just sort of get curious about those things. So yeah, I do enjoy those ones. It's funny that Jeff mentioned the Japanese stuff, because we get a lot of people talking about that sort of part of the world. We should do a special on that at some point. There's got to be something that we keep talking about that one. But it's a language that I've often struggled with, but at the same time, there's a lot of bands. I think in the future we'll be exploring that part of the world more, because we've got bands from here touring there at the moment, but also India seems to be a bit of a crossover thing with the world we're in as well. So there's been a few Indian bands that I've been very, very interested in, and so that sort of stuff makes it interesting to sort of go and check things out. So yeah, I do, and I expect that we'll do much more in the years to come as well. So yeah, great question for you, from you there, Jade. So thank you very much for sharing that with us. And let's get into some comments now to see what the audience to say.
Can Jade answer the question too?
Oh, sorry. Yes, please. Sorry.
Go for it. What bands do you like that talk in different languages?
Måneskin.
Of course. Yeah. Go on. Show it off. You know you want it.
Do I need to put in slow mode?
Albums of Måneskin that have different languages on it. Like their first album has one song, Vengo della Luna. I don't know if I said that correctly.
I think it's close enough. She's learning Italian from this band, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, that's how it works, man. It's good.
This one has mostly Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 songs are in English. This one, I have no idea how many songs it has. It's Italian.
3, I think.
See, they like Rush. They like Rush too. Yeah.
Not the same Rush, dude.
3.
Come on. I'll tell you where I can get it.
But you're always Googling these lyrics and you're finding out the meanings of these songs.
Yeah.
That's really inspired you. And you're learning Italian. And a band like Måneskin, you can tell from the way, like I mentioned, the emotive inflection from the lyrics, wherever you want to check it out. So when you check out the English translation, you can actually really understand what he's saying, even though it's in a completely different language. Because is it Nome de Padre? Yeah, that kind of rappy song. He's really pissed off. So it's inspiring enough to check out the lyrics, and some spiteful stuff in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anything else? Any other bands that don't? Go on, share it. You know you want.
This band, Reckless Love, has no songs from their language. They're Finnish. They have no songs from their language.
What?
One day, maybe. They're not done yet, so maybe they will one day.
They're not done yet. Hopefully you'll be old enough to see them live. I've seen them live.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. Okay. What are the questions?
All right, well, just quickly, before we do move on, I actually have one pop into my head for both of you, for Dave and Jade, and that is, it's an interesting dynamic here, because, Dave, I know how much you love your kids, and just what's it like for you watching Jade go through this, but also for both of you on this regard, the point where, because it's in a different language, how much it opens Jade's eyes to a different part of the world, and how much it opens your eyes to seeing what the kids are seeing. Does that make sense, Dave? What I'm getting at there? Because this is it's a different dynamic at play, because if it's in English, you can hear it straight away and go, okay, cool, that may or may not be appropriate. But when it's in a different language, it changes the game. So what's that like for both of you, and how much has this sort of opened Jade's horizons about the world out there?
When Jade was getting interested in music, I got her a Spotify account. And I got her a full. We lied about her age. I'm like, fuck it, you can have the full access.
Yep.
The only stipulation was, if it is an E, ask me, and we'll check it out together. I'll see if it's appropriate. And there was only really one song, and it had the N word, and I had to explain that some people can say it, some people can't. Everything else has just been, fuck it, you're going to find out anyway if you got a question.
So,
1 in a Million by Guns N' Roses?
No, not that one.
Well, that says it too.
Juice. Who sings Juice?
Blame
Blame it on my juice. Yeah, some
that's a pop song.
Yeah. You don't listen to it anymore. You don't like it anymore. You were young. You were young. It was when you were young and impressionable.
Already probably watching. It's like I still like it.
But yeah, it's cool walking past Jade's room and hearing like Guns N' Roses coming out of it, or Reckless Love, or Måneskin, all this influence. But yeah, I'm proud. Jade's on her own musical journey, and fully respect whatever she does with that. So yeah. As far as I like her Googling. I like her checking out different languages, learning different languages. I like her finding song meanings. That shit's important. So if you want to do it. And if you got a question, you can come to me.
Yay!
So, over to you.
Well, on just what I want to touch on that just for a moment, if we could. Jade and Dave, this is a question to you guys. What music has Jade discovered that you have been introduced to?
Good one. Good one.
Have you? I found Måneskin first. You just became a much bigger fan. Yeah. Probably, their first 2 albums. Because you discovered their first 2 albums before I did.
Yeah.
So that'd be
any songs off their second album?
No, all their first. So you dug deeper into them.
Begging.
Yeah. Well, I knew like I Want to Be Your Slave and what's that one they did from Eurovision? City of Bono. Yeah. Buoni. Your Italian's better than mine. I did Italian in high school and I failed it because I was too busy checking out the Italian teacher. Oh. Not the main one. She was horrible, the student teacher.
Oh.
That's a story for when you're older.
Julie's rolling in the couch.
Yeah, we're filming, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, so the first 2 Måneskin albums. Yeah.
And then the second one.
No, I didn't know the first one either. So yeah, that's the answer. What was Andrew's question? Because I think I hijacked on.
Well, just on this one then for Jade, more directly for Jade, just how much, because when you explore music in a different language, it opens up a different part of the world. Now, obviously, you've taken an interest in Italian and that kind of stuff as a consequence of being into the band, but how much is exploring music through another language opened your mind to a wider world out there? I hope that's making sense, what I'm trying to get at.
What?
Yeah. Remember year 5? What did you do? What project did you do?
Oh, yeah. In year 5, we had to do a project on a different country, and I did Finland.
Okay.
For this band.
Nice.
And Nightly.
Of course.
Do you remember facts about Finland? Phone's going off. Jesus Christ.
It was one of my friends. It was a notification.
Yeah, here we go. Now she's really popular. She's outdoing us.
You don't remember? That was 2 years ago. My God.
Yeah. All right. Well, what I'll do is I'll go to the audience now and see what they've got to say here. So Michael says, answer to Jade, yes, and Jolie not here. She had to work, but that's a yes from her as well. So Michael and Jolie both go and check out music in other languages and translations. Nice. Rowan too says, yes, I listen to quite a bit of music in other languages and I never translate it. So there we go. So Rowan does not translate. There we go. BP says, yes, Italian prog. So there we go. Guru's here saying, greetings, rockers and Junior across the plane. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're keeping well over there. That part of the world too. Nick says, yes and yes. I need to know what Rammstein was saying on Du Hast too. everyone Googled those ones. Michael's here saying, hey all, good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're keeping well. Vinny's gone, evening gang. Did Belle shrink and join Dave? No, not this time around. Belle won't be joining us tonight, unfortunately. She's had a lot going on in the real world for her.
Yeah, house. She's busy.
So, unfortunately, she won't be able to make it tonight. What do we got? Craig says, hey, all, here for a good time. It's been a long time tonight. We'll hopefully get to catch up later on, but good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Michael, I see your question. I'll come back to that in a moment. Michael says, I'm learning Spanish from a love of different things from movies and stuff over the years, but the warning sparked me into actively learning the language. There we go. Woo! That's a cool response.
That's very cool.
On that one.
Yeah, they do, because they're from Mexico. Jade knows the one. Yeah, she likes them.
Yeah, I'm actually staying up late tonight as the warnings new album Keep Me Fed is out at midnight, and they have a great Spanish speaking song on it. So there we go. Speaking of that, the new album drops tonight. Vinny says,
I inspired me to learn some Latin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. I don't know if Jay can see the screen here, but Vinny says, I know it's our honorary Bright Star, Jade. Ciao, esta bene ragazza. I don't know what that means, but
It's Italian. I'm not sure.
Ciao means hi.
Ciao means hi. Buongiorno a tutti means come in, everyone. I think I did Italian in high school.
Also did mechanic.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Ragazza.
Vinny, maybe give me an English translation down below so I can read that.
We're simpletons, dude.
Vinny also said, hopefully there's an exchange program Jay can enroll in during our high school years and travel. That would be so cool. That would be great. Traveling is fucking fantastic. I definitely.
Oh, yes.
Vinny says, Jay, teach Dad the Italian swear words. That is the first thing you should learn in any language. Jeff says, Sparksy, Jeff, take your shirt off.
Now
Jefferson,
we want to keep our audience, not scare them away.
We'll take mine off for $20.
Hey guys, hey Jay,
Hey,
good to see you, Kathy, as well. I did get the message. Don't worry, I just haven't got around to it yet. I did see the message. I have checked it. I haven't got to check out the song yet, but it is going to be a part of things very, very soon. Just keep your eyes peeled. All right, going back up here. Michael says, question to Jade. How do you and your contemporaries, that is to say your age group, find the music you want to listen to? So how do you and people your age find music?
We find bands that are like other bands that we listen to.
In what source? CDs or magazines?
Recommendations
Or...
on Spotify, that kind of thing?
YouTube or Spotify?
Not
or...
me. I do TikTok.
Kids do TikTok.
Except for Måneskin.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
How would you find music?
Spotify.
Yep.
Spotify
Do kids talk about music to each other at school?
Mostly Taylor Swift.
They're talking about music. You may not like the type.
God,
Oh, well, Conrad, we're going to try and change that one kid at a time. There we go.
Do kids at school mention any other musician apart from Taylor Swift?
I did hear a few kids sing Beggin'.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Occasionally a Måneskin song. Hey, didn't you show, was it your PE teacher played Welcome to the Jungle?
Yeah.
Your request?
I requested Beggin' and Welcome to the Jungle, but he also played TNT and Thunderstruck.
Nice. The teachers know where it's at. Except one didn't like a Måneskin song. What teacher was that?
My art teacher. He said that was a song.
Yeah, that was a song.
That was a song.
That's saying it's not going away, is it? All right, just quickly on while we're following through on this one, just on the Taylor Swift thing. I know we're not supposed to do this, but because I don't know how recently you've been with your school friends and that, but because there's been I don't know how much anyone's keeping up with things online. There's been a bit of a blue online between Taylor Swift and Dave Grohl and that kind of stuff. I don't know the finer details. I've been watching it play out. Yeah, it's been a thing. But there's Jade, when those sorts of things happen, when there's beef or arguments between artists or whatever else, does that sort of stuff come across to you guys? And would your friends or people be talking about Foo Fighters or Dave Grohl versus Taylor Swift in the arguments online, or do they just stay out of it and not care?
I don't really care.
Okay, good. Yep, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Cool. Yeah, it seems. I didn't think
it's just it's media hype bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's like trying to follow each other.
Yeah,
that's the problem. You just
trying to get interest and notoriety or anything, but nobody really cares outside the confines of the social media world.
I can try and get people to listen to rock.
Yeah, you tried.
It didn't work.
Just for you.
Except I did see one kid listen to We Will Rock You.
Yeah.
So have you introduced people to music, Jade, at school? Have you introduced people to other bands that you like?
Yeah, for English we had to do a presentation, and I did my presentation on rock music.
Yeah,
nice.
And how well did that go down?
The face expressions were a bit strange.
I always found it when I was a kid to try just one song at a time. Just get them to be introduced to one song, find a really cool song. If they like it, then expose them to more, rather than just say, "Here's a band," and dump it, because it's too much. Just one song and try from that. Yeah.
Some things never change, dude.
Yeah, I think that's very true, actually. Vinny gave us an English translation. He's gone, in English, I said, "Hi and stay well, young lady." So there we go. That was the translation.
Raza, young lady.
Yeah. All right, well, here we go. Vinny also says, Jade, do kids talk about Taylor Swift's pet gorilla, Travis Kelce?
You're confusing.
Vinny, you're being
No.
cheeky. Sorry, Jade?
No.
No, okay, good. I'm glad because Travis Kelce's the greatest tight end of all time. So fucking stick that up your carber, Vinny. Anyway, I'm gonna move us along there. But no, that's been really, really cool. Is there anything else that Jade wanted to say or anything before we move on to another segment?
Yeah.
Got a bin. All right, cool. Even better. What are you gonna put in the bin?
My school decided to do sport instead of music.
Oh no.
They pulled me out of music just so I could do sport.
That's a good bin. That's a great bin. Really? Wow.
You tell them, say, look, sports are really good for keeping you're physically in shape, but music is a really good sport for keeping you mentally in shape. Tell them that. See what they think about that.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah.
The arts are important. And Kathy's got a nice note here saying, just love the music and forget the hype. I think that's completely on point.
Yeah.
Well
like
done,
what
Kathy.
you like. Don't matter what it is.
Like what you like. All right. Well, there's a question. Oh man, can I copy? I can't copy and paste it at the moment. Yeah. All right. Cool. A question for everyone. I'm going to bring it up then, just quickly. Following on from what Jeff said, what's one rock or metal song that you would use to introduce people to rock and metal? Let's do the randomizer. Dave, you're up first.
Wow.
Oh, I wanted to think of it. One song.
One song, man. One song.
People, do you know, that's an interesting question because you hear about bands like Garish and the Chronicles, and they're performing to people that have never heard rock music. And you listen to the Metallica podcast about the Black Album, and all these countries that have never heard rock music before, and that's their introduction. What would I pick? I'm trying to buy time, but fuck. One song. Welcome to the Jungle. I'm gonna go with that. They grab you by the balls and just say, "Fucking listen to this."
Cool. Alrighty. Welcome to the jungle, Jeff. Over to you.
In the 30 seconds, I had to think about this song really quick in my head. I'm going through. Yeah. Look, you want to introduce something that people are going to like musically, right? And also maybe deep lyrics, right? Because deep lyrics gets you thinking about something. So the first song that came to mind was 2 Minutes to Midnight from Iron Maiden, because that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Everyone can relate to what it's about.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what I would try.
Fuck, you've taken, because now I was gonna take Maiden, so I won't take Maiden.
Sorry.
I won't take Maiden.
Can't go wrong with Maiden, though.
No, you can't
go wrong, Maiden. But I want to try and break it up a bit.
Probably why they're so popular as well. They appeal to so many people around the world.
I would actually, this might be a bit of an out of the box one, but to try and get people into the world that aren't normally in there, I might go the other side of the coin here, that we always have this battle, but I might even go a track, for example, from Judas Priest, but might not be the typical one. I might go Turbo Lover, for example, just because it's got that energy, it's fun, it's an easy one to consume, that kind of thing. If I was trying to get people to get sucked into it, it might be a sneaky gateway kind of a song. In my mind,
that's the key. It has to be a gateway.
It has to be a gateway song. That's why I went that way. Yeah,
that's right. And Turbo Lover is a great song for that.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Jade, because Belle's name came up next on the randomizer, but Belle's not here. So Jade, you can take her place. What song would you play to introduce people to rock and metal?
Maybe Gossip by Måneskin.
Nice. That's a good one, actually. That is a really good one. And I think
that's all over TikTok.
It's pop rock.
Yeah, pop rock. Yeah. It's all over TikTok. Yeah. It's accessible.
That, or you could also go.
Tom Morello's in it. Tom Morello does the song. Right?
Yeah.
I met him. I shook his hand. I don't like it.
All righty, Conrad, over to you. What have you got?
This is a tough one because I like rock and metal, and it's so tough. I want to tear people's faces off with, Holy Wars or Painkiller.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to shock them into like, oh my god. But then it's not a gateway kind of thing.
Scare them away.
That would frighten them. That would frighten them away. So I would say Stargazer by Rainbow.
Oh,
that's
a
good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Wow, that's legend. That's a great song.
That's a good one, man. Oh, I will pay that. Fuck yeah. That's good.
That to me is the Mount Everest of metal.
No, fair enough, man.
I don't think that song can be topped.
That's a good pick. Vinny says Skid Row Youth Gone Wild will make a great entry point for anyone curious about rock music. There we go.
I like that song.
Zach, good to see you. Through the Fire and Flame. Nice. There we go. Some good ones there.
I know, Zach.
Yeah. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. And Julia says, great question, Jade. I could be a bit biased as well. So there we go. As we do. Alrighty. Rowan says the song that got me into rock and metal was AC/DC's Hell's Bells. Put anyone into some great headphones and put on that. You'll convert anyone. I agree. Then also Stargaze is a great choice. I think, give a good mix. It makes a big difference, I believe. But yeah. Is there anything else that Jade wants to say?
You good?
Yeah.
Finished? Or you got more?
Can't think of anything.
5 minutes of fame is almost finished. Until next time.
It was 15 minutes, and you know who said that?
Andy Warhol.
It was
Andy
Jeff Tate.
Warhol.
Okay,
Yeah, Jeff Tate said it in the lyrics, but Andy Warhol. That's right.
Andy Warhol.
That's right.
All right. Well, I'm not sure. I know that normally it's about a bedtime thing for Jade as well. So
let's get you out of here. Let's say bye to everyone.
We do go, Jade. Just want to say
Jade.
thank you for jumping in.
I'll be back.
Chug.
Jade, I got a challenge for you. The next time you come in, whenever that is, I want you to tell us what bands and stuff that you've introduced your fellow classmates to that they actually like. That's your challenge.
Okay.
That's cool.
All right. Cool. She's got that one.
Yeah, people, that's not beer. That is
ginger beer. I swear to God, it's ginger beer. I'm not a bad parent.
It's ginger beer. It's ginger beer. It's Bundaberg ginger beer.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
All right, all good, man. Let's get some comments here quickly. Guru says, "Oh, high fidelity headphones. I remember them most. Good shit." And bye, Jade, for that. Rowan's gone, see Jade rock on, and Michael's gone, you're the best on the panel tonight, Jade. So there we go. There's some positive feedback for Jade there too. This is a lot of fun, guys. Like I said, this is all about embracing the chaos. I'm going to do a couple of little bits and pieces here before you do get really into the madness. So just bear with us tonight as we go through things. What we got here? I've got these little things I've set up at the bottom of the screen. You'll see those ones scrolling through from time to time.
Yep.
There's not really much. Probably I didn't bother setting up any hard rock happenings like I normally do. Just looking at the release list. Obviously, The Warning have the new album coming out tomorrow. Anvil have a new album coming out tomorrow called One and Only. Il Nino have another album coming out tomorrow, and Sunbomb, that one with Michael Sweet and
yes.
Tracy Guns.
Yeah.
So that is dropping their second album, Light Up the Sky, tomorrow as well. So there's a few little cool releases there. It's otherwise a interesting little list that is there tomorrow, but they're the names sort of jump out at me for our audience kind of thing. As we do go through things here. What else? Next up is sort of the songs of the week segment, which we'll get to in a second. I'll wait for Dave to come back before we do launch into that one. But yeah, make sure you jump in, give us any thoughts you got along the way. We have more topics for discussion coming up later on, so that will be it's gonna be a long one tonight, folks. So just strap yourselves in. It's gonna be a bit of fun. The way this is all playing out is because what have we got here? Sorry, Guru says I think Tracy Guns lives here in Denmark now. Wow, I didn't know that. Cool. That'd be Guns and Sweets from Rowan. That's a good one. I'll pay that. I did not know that Tracy Guns is now emigrated out of the US. Okay, cool. Good to know.
Smart man.
Well, with everything going on over there at the moment, it's a bit of a wild place, but we'll see what happens over the next few months. What else have we got coming up? There's not a lot. So the songs of the week, I'm going to start off with the shout outs then, I guess. I'm going to go to, Conrad dropped out. There we go. We'll see if we get him back hopefully soon. Yeah, it's been a bit of a weird one. His phone's probably nuked itself probably while we're at it. So see what happens in that regard. Alrighty. Okay, so for the songs of the week or the Hot Rocks playlist, I'm going to put a link to that in the comments now, actually. Just a link to the Hot Rocks playlist into the comments. I've got to go back to the comments. So bear with me. I'll do back-end stuff here. So there's a link in the comments now for our Hot Rocks playlist on Spotify, which we do a weekly update of the songs that have impressed us at the show, and also our Patreon supporters have access to the voting thing. If you want to get involved in this one, it's just $2 a month to just sort of chime in, help us out a bit behind the scenes, and you get more access to things as well, like this playlist. Well, Dave does renovations. So a quick shout out to things on here. What do we got here? Vinny says, let me get it out of the way. Hawk Tour metal mixes popping up on the socials. Wow. Okay. I have no idea what's going
Oh
on.
yeah, it makes me want to leave the fucking planet. It's the newest meme shit. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I'm going to keep us moving on. We'll wait for Conrad to come back in. Hopefully his phone hasn't exploded. But yeah, basically there's a link to the playlist now, the Hot Rocks playlist in the comments, so go and check it out. But as we do things every week, we update it via voting from us and from Patreon, and then it just goes into a top 10 of the week, and we rotate things through from there. So our first things first is our shout outs for today, which is Visions of Atlantis with the track Monsters, which was nominated by Vinny. As Conrad comes back in, good to see you. His phone is still with us. But yeah, Vinny nominated Visions of Atlantis Monsters. That made it to number 6 this week, just outside of the top 5.
That was cool.
Then going on from there, we have some holdovers from the weeks that have gone by. So Portrait with From the Urn, Wicked Envy, Final Descent, and For the Walls with Afterglow. Those 3 tracks are into their 2nd week now on the Hot Rocks playlist. And then going into its 4th week, got to give a shout out to the Southern River Band, Vice City 3, going into its 4th week. Michael picked that one a while ago now, so that's done exceptionally well. Alrighty, time for the top 5 then, as we've gone through that process. Guru's gone, we're old. Yes, we're all old.
We are old.
But number 5 is Jeff's assignment for this week, so I'm going to throw to Jeff first on this one. The artist is Carly Jewell. The song is Sad Girl. This is the latest from Melbourne artist Carly Jewell, like I was saying. Her first release, though, via the new label. She's with X Music, who seem to be snapping up pretty much everyone at the moment. We've had a long history with Carly's work. We've played pretty much all of her video clips on TV at some point or another. And her debut album, Phoenix, in 2019 impressed us, even making some of our top 10 lists that year. Not sure what's next for Carly Jewell in general, aside from what she's just sort of going on with, but she's currently on tour in Japan, if I'm correct. Otherwise, she's just finished it up either way. But all the best in that regard. But this was every week we have in case I don't get the minimum number I want, I always have a list of backup songs that I put into the playlist for tastemakers where we get to choose songs from and vote on. This was a top-up track this week, which is cool. But Jeff, it was assigned to you. How'd you go with your assignment this week with Carly Jewell? You've muted yourself, man.
Myself. Sorry about that, guys. Luckily, I didn't say very much.
No.
So look, I'm not exactly sure if I've heard Carly Jewell before. I may have, and if I probably did, it's probably here on the show. I really liked this. I thought it was very well done, and I really liked it. The lyrics, the groove, everything about it, the vocals, it's powerful, really very punchy, right? Really good. I do have one criticism about it, and that is, and this is not a bad thing if they ever see this video or me talking about it, this song was produced within an inch of its life. It is so overproduced, it's not funny. And I can hear it, and maybe it's just listening to it on various means. It's not that it sounds bad. It just sounds like it's almost like there's a production thing here that's it took me back to Avril Lavigne in 2002.
Wow.
It's just like when music production at that point was just all very, very new, popped on a computer, and they were just trying everything out, and they were cranking everything up to 10. That's what this reminded me of. And like I said, I enjoyed the song a lot. Thought it was really, really good. I just thought it was just a bit overproduced. And so for that, it loses a couple marks for me. So I'm going to give it 8 shots for what it is. I think it's great, but yeah, less production next time. If they're going to do it as something else, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm smoking it. So I don't know. Maybe everyone else has a different view, but yeah, that's my opinion.
Cool. Well, let's do the rounds and see what everyone else thinks. Conrad, how many shots are you giving this one?
I didn't like this. This wasn't doing it for me. I gave this 4. I found it badly executed, predictable, and boring. Sorry.
Okay. All right. No, it's all good. That's why we're all here to give different opinions, Dave.
Is she Australian?
Yeah, Melbourne.
Yeah.
Shit, then I feel terrible. God, that's bad.
You should feel terrible.
I do. I like to support. I like to support Australia. Melbourne band, an Australian band.
But you got to be honest at the same time. It's always about that. If you're not honest, then no one believes.
Sorry, it's just a bit too predictable, and it's not executed well. Sorry, 4 shots.
No,
don't hunt me down.
Good luck finding him. He's in England.
Be out one night in Melbourne and someone
message me, people. I've got his address.
Mash me over the head with a bottle.
Frying pan. Who knew? All right, Dave. What about you?
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, the Tastemakers playlist made me want to dig a fucking hole and bury myself. But this week it was fantastic. This week was fucking great. So I had it on Saturday. I'm cleaning some shit in the kitchen, tidying up and putting stuff away. I got this playing, and this song comes on. And over the years of doing the show, people have said, like friends, apart from the show and the local scene, just like you're a bit kind to the local scene. You're obviously biased. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm fucking honest as it comes. And this song came on. I'm like, this just grabbed my attention straight away. I'm like, this is fucking cool. I like this. I have no idea who this is. And it just got me straight away. I'm like, I fucking love this song. This is so cool. And then I'm like, oh shit, this is Carly Jewell. I know Carly Jewell.
That's cool.
I didn't know who this was when I heard this fucking song. So there's the blind test right there.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is fucking incredible. And throughout listening to the Tastemakers playlist, I actually queued this up to play between every song.
Wow.
Because this is probably my fucking highlight of the week. This gets 10 shots. I fucking love this song.
Pure blood.
Catchy hook, great lyrics, sassy attitude, lots of fucking bite. I just love the way it was executed. This is a cool fucking song. Straight up cool fucking song. So 10 shots. Loved it.
Yeah. Well, there's some counterpoint to one another, isn't it? So there we go. That's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to give this 8 shots for me. I think it's got a great hook. I love the attitude in it. There's some nice bite to it, like Dave said. I think the video is fun too when you watch the video. I just think that Carly keeps improving on things. Nothing she's ever done has been bad as far as I'm concerned. But I get, to the point about the production and what Conrad said about the predictability of the song. I kind of get it, especially with the FUCK part of it. But for me, that was part of it. Yeah, but it was the charm. It was that was the appeal of it to me as well. That was the fun.
I sent the song to Jade. She's like, you might like this.
Cool. Yeah, no, for me, it was one of those ones where, just a lot of fun. So I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's tongue in cheek. It's not meant to be taken
seriously. Don't take it too seriously. But at that said, there is a bit of a message in there too when you listen to lyrics about how it's important to be yourself. And I think that songs like this, Dave, I'm glad you sent it to Jay, because if she gets into the lyrics on this one, there's an empowerment.
Because it's new to her. We've heard the song before, but this generation hasn't. Yeah.
Exactly. But also there's an empowerment thing. You don't have to like me, but I don't give a fuck. That line.
Yeah. Exactly. Just be you. Fuck everyone.
That's it. But that said, audience, Michael says 5 shots, not for me. Okay, well, there we go. So that's all we've got on that one. So we'll move on to the next one, which was actually assigned to Dave. So here we go. Next up is Avalanche, keeping on the Aussie shores here with the song Armed to the Teeth. Link in the comments and the description box. This is the latest single from the Sydney band, who have an album coming in 2025. Don't know when. Don't ask me. Just know that there's an album coming. Funnily enough, with Carly Jewell being in Japan at the moment, this video was actually filmed in Japan on the band's headline tour over there a little while back. We've had the distinct pleasure of premiering this band's music on the show in TV and live stream format as well. Big fans of the work. Looking forward to more from these guys in the future. But a big thanks to Original Tim for setting us up with these guys way back when, because without him, we wouldn't have known about this band. And so that's how it works. This was another top-up song that I put into the playlist. Went to number 4 after Carly Jewell to number 5. Was assigned to Dave. How'd you go with this one?
Yeah, this is cool. Straight up. No bullshit, rock and roll. Very old school, but that never goes out of fashion as far as I'm concerned. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, come up with fancy production or drop tune, detuning everything. Just fucking get the right combination of people together and write some great rock and roll. Very much from the school of AC/DC. But it doesn't sound recycled. This could be on any future AC/DC album, but it's not AC/DC. It's just that old fucking basic straight up rock and roll. Cool hook to the chorus, catchy riffs. This will be awesome live. Great song for drinking to or knocking shots back. 9 shots, as we talk about shots.
Cool. All righty, let's do the rounds. Jeff, how'd you go with this one?
Yeah, I like this. This is it's very traditional. It's pub rock. It's got that AC/DC vibe thing going. I mean, and they don't hide it. That's which is kind of cool. They're not trying to hide it, and they're not trying to reinvent the wheel. They're just doing something that comes naturally, and it sounds really good. I enjoyed this song. I thought it's quite well done. Yeah, so I'm 8 shots for me. 8 shots. I
Nice.
enjoyed it. It's pretty good.
Cool. Conrad, what about you?
I've seen these guys a lot. I've seen them quite a few times in Melbourne, and I
Nice.
think they are great. They're a really good band live. Perhaps a little too AC/DC. That you know, live. A lot of their songs do sound very AC/DC formula. This doesn't. It's like the lyrics, the verse, and the music aren't going well. They're not gelling well together. It's like there's something off. It sounds like the structure's off for me. It just doesn't. I can't. The teeth aren't fitting on the gears for me. They're not fitting together. They're not meshing together. So I can't quite get my head around it. It sounds like something's not quite right, and it's off, and they're singing in the wrong parts, or the structure of the way it's delivered. It just doesn't sound right. So for me, I gave this 4.
Okay.
I thought they need to go back to the drawing board and learn how to write.
Holy Jesus!
Ouch!
Ouch!
Sorry,
And the thing is,
guys.
hang on, just hold, hang on a minute. I'm not look. Don't get me wrong. I haven't written this song, and I'm not in a band. I'm not doing it myself.
It's all.
So there's that, and not only that, but I've seen these guys live a lot, and I've thoroughly enjoyed them. So this song just didn't grab my attention as much as
that's fair.
That's fair enough too, man. It's all good. It's just part of the fun.
You
That's why
should be ashamed of yourself, man. 2 for 2. Fucking hell.
Well, Bell's not here. Someone's got to do it. So here we go.
2 Australian bands too, and I feel bad.
No, it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the night
Keep this
goes.
up,
2
dude.
songs and you're only on 8 shots. Holy shit! You're never gonna get loaded.
No, he's a teetotaler tonight.
I guess so.
All right, for me, I'm going to go 8 shots on this one. I think it's another solid banger of a track.
And you heard that.
It is very AC/DC, this song, especially the guitar, work at the beginning and the main sort of riff in the song. I think overall, though, they got the AC/DC roots, but they're one of those bands that have evolved beyond that. And between this and other songs in the past we've talked about in the show before, I love their work. I think Bring On the Album in 2025. Yeah, I gave this one 8. I think it's another solid banger track. They're not breaking any new ground, but they don't need to. It's just a good fucking solid song. And that's all it needs to be. That's all I wanted it to do. And it did. It hit the spot for me that I wanted it to hit. So there we go. That's my thoughts on that one. Audience wise, Michael says this is 7 shots, fun track. No new ground here. Pissed myself laughing, but they rock. So yeah, there we go. It's basically mirrored what I said there as well.
Yeah,
he said it 4 minutes before me. So there you go. Alrighty. Next up is Conrad's assignment, which is in the comments and the description box, which is New Horizon with Alexander the Great. It's funny enough that this was a band that was assigned to Conrad randomly a couple of weeks back. So this is a bit of a weird sort of... I just randomly assigned things, and Conrad just drew this one out twice. This was chosen by Jolie, who happens to love this band and this album. She nominated the last song a few weeks back as well. This is a non-single from the new album Conquerors, which is out now. For those who don't know, this band out of Sweden released their second album, Conquerors, a few weeks ago. It features Jonah T and Nils Molan. And like I said, Jolie nominated it. It did well enough to get number 3 this week as a non-single track, which is pretty fucking cool. So yeah, Conrad, it's over to you. It was your song. How'd you go with this one?
I like this. I thought this is good. It was. I thought, is it overblown? Is it pompous? Is it too overblown and pompous? And then it endeared me. And then I found myself going, hang on, it's not overblown, it's not pompous. I was like, I was torn. I was looking at it going, shit, is this too over the top? And then I found myself going, no, actually, I found it quite endearing. So it's epic. It's very power metal. Fans of power metal are going to like this. There's a Maiden influence in there. Definitely.
I wonder why, dude. Fuck.
Maiden influence.
It's a Maiden song. It's a cover.
It's a cover.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
it's from somewhere in time, man.
Even
you saw this you saw this live not that long ago.
Yeah,
somewhere in time.
Hang on a minute. This does sound familiar. There you go. So
somewhere in time.
Well, I don't think Maiden has ever played it live, so that's probably why you don't know it.
They have. It's on the current tour.
On the current. Okay, on the current.
I'm so fucking psyched to see them in a couple of months, man.
Yeah,
it's a good show.
Song, dude.
I think I'm on the Friday night, Dave. You're Saturday.
Show.
On Saturday.
It's a great show. You'll like the show. It's a good show.
everything you said about it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yes, okay, this obviously ticks all of us. What did I give this? I gave this 8 shots.
Nice, cool.
Yes.
All right, Jeff, how about you? How'd you go? How many shots?
Do you want me to tell you right up the bat, or do I want to give a little bit of a preamble? Look, I recognize
Pick
this
it up the
obviously
back, man.
right from 4 shots then.
It sounded like a maiden riff.
Wow.
Look, I
This sounds exactly
I
like
love
Judas
the
Priest.
original, but
Yeah.
and I love the idea of what they're doing, making this album Conquerors, and they're releasing songs of like Genghis Khan and Nobunaga from Japan and all that stuff, and this fits in there. But all of those are original songs, and then they do a cover of this. Like, fuck off! Like, why not write your own Alexander the Great? That's different. So I don't know. That's where I thought, okay, yeah, they did a good job of it, but 4 shots for me. It was below average, and I don't really want to hear another band doing like, okay, you're going to do a cover, and then you're going to do it note for note, fine, and then you're going to do the little Chris Wiggins. That's who did the original. My son asked for thyself another country for that, which I leave is too small for me.
You can't do the song without that, though.
But why use that quote? Why use that quote? You can use that. I understand why Maiden did it. I just didn't think that.
Part of the song, though.
If you're going to do a cover, I get it. But just maybe I'm being a little bit harsh. They did a very good job of it.
Yeah.
I just thought, no, not for me. If I'm going to listen to Alexander Graham, it's not going to be this version. It's going to be the fucking Maiden version, 100% every time. So yeah.
Cool. All right. I was just pre-rolled the comments there. I'll get to those in a second. Dave, how about you?
Yeah, I love covers. I love like new bands showing their influences and keeping old songs alive, especially obscure tracks. They could have chose to cover any mainstream, well-known Fear of the Dark, A Trooper, Number of the Beast. They went with a fucking deep cut. And this song went underappreciated for so long, and Maiden resurrected it because Somewhere in Time wasn't really toured back in the day, and now they're doing the Senjutsu Somewhere in Time tour now, and this is part of the set, and I'm fucking stoked. And to know a band that I'm really starting to love, New Horizon, because I like Amaranthi with their new album, and knowing that this singer is also in New Horizon now, so I'm fucking. I think I could be completely. I don't know. I like the vocals. I like the band. Yeah. I like this cover. This is fucking awesome. I was really stoked when I heard the Tastemakers this week, and I gave this 10. This was fucking cool.
Wow, Dave's in a good mood. Dave's
in a good mood.
What brand of fucking rum are you drinking tonight?
Yeah.
It's got to be Captain, is it? Oh, there's
Captain Morgan, motherfucker.
There we go.
I got these cunts on my wall. Lagerstein.
Lagerstein,
yo, drink our yum and slam it down. Drink our yum.
Oh wow, okay. Anyway, I gave this 8. I like this a lot more than the last single we did on the show. That said,
me too.
That said, Jeff and I did a TV thing, and the song for the video for Apollo comes in to play there. I'll probably like the Apollo song more than I like this one. It's a good, solid song. It's a good version of it, all the kind of stuff. I mean, it's well written to begin with, but at the same time, I just think that I didn't mind it being the last track on the album kind of thing. It's a good choice. But I think that overall, out of the 3 or 4 songs I've listened to from this album, it's one that's made me want to go and actually check out the album completely in full over the break, probably, as we do things. So, yeah, looking forward to hearing more from it. But, yeah, so far, what's not to like? It's a power metal song that's done very, very well. So, for me, 8 shots. It's pretty straightforward. But, yeah, nicely done there. Dan's jumped in on Facebook to say, "G'day, Jeff." So there you go. Another one of your
Dan, my brother.
Friends everywhere. Where are my friends? What the fuck?
Sparksy's going. I played a bit of Aqua Dr. Jones today, Davey. So there we go. There's Sparksy for you. So
fuck off.
David a bad mood. Brett's gone a Metallica song. To answer Rowan's question earlier on, Brett's gone a Metallica song. Vinny says, "Say it, Conrad. Smashed it out of the where? Where did it smash out of for you?"
Didn't. I didn't say it. No, and I didn't say it.
We're all waiting to take a drink. Conrad Bingo.
Smashed
it out of the.
I haven't said it.
There's still a couple of songs to go. Still a couple of songs to go.
Yeah.
Rowan says, I like this version of the song. Vinny says 7 shots for Alexander. Michael says 9 shots. I was ready to rip this, a new one, but they did this really well, and variation on instruments was well done. Obviously, great vocal. Ended up super impressed. Well, thank you for that. Slipknot fans, sup? Well, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for saying hi. Let us know where you're watching from.
Turntables suck.
Oh God, here we go, Dave. Settle down. Vinny says someone nominated Radio Gaga this week. Really enjoyed it. Great nomination. That is coming up on next week's Tastemakers and maybe into the Hot Rocks if it goes well enough tomorrow night in the polling. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
What? There's a cover of Radio Gaga
on the Tastemakers playlist this week. Yeah. So
okay. If that goes through, Michael Jade back.
It's really good.
We'll see. Yeah,
it's cool holidays. You can join me.
Yeah.
We're off next week.
Oh no, we're off next week. Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. Maybe she can film something. I don't know. Anyway, next song is The Nail, Hit and Run. It was assigned to me. This is another top-up track, which made it to number 2 this week. It's the debut single from the new outfit featuring the one and only Girish Pradhan from Girish and the Chronicles and a million other bands at the moment, alongside Efe Andreas Ali Eroglu. I don't know. This outfit are called The Nail, obviously. They're produced by Cenk Eroglu, the father of the 2 guitarists. He's ex-winger and crossing Rubicon, believe it or not. This happens to also serve as the opening track from the self-titled album, which is due out on September 13th. This is all new for all of us. It's a top-up song, like I said, and went to number 2, so I did pretty well for a top-up track. Was assigned to me. Now, I'm going to give this an 8 shots straight off the bat. Again, link in the comments description box. Go and check it out. I think there's a great riff on there. Like, I know that Jeff will hate the video because of the not plugged-in guitars, but the actual riff itself, the riff itself is pretty cool. Great energy on the song. It sounds great. Like, it's well mixed, well produced from top to bottom. What I love most about this song in particular, though, is how Girish is sort of showing us more of his vocal versatility. Like, we're used to what he's done with Girish and the Chronicles and other things on the Frontiers side of things. This one's still being released through Frontiers. Yeah. But there's a definite different gear being shown by Girish in his vocal performance on this one, which I think is exploring more of his range, going a bit darker at times as well, which is cool. It's not so much of a fun pump you up kind of thing. This one's got a bit more sort of bite to it, which I think is really cool, and I enjoyed him playing in that space. Musically, this isn't anything new per se. It's got some great rhythm to it. I love the hook. It's got a great hook in there. I love how like the verse was sort of more 90s, but the chorus is more 80s kind of a thing. That was a cool little sort of gear change there. Great solo in there. I think the lead work on this is pretty good, but this is all that vocals and guitar. If you like those two things, you're going to like this song. It's melodic, it's punchy, it's got everything you want. I'm looking forward to more from these guys. I think Girish is super fucking busy, so, you know, well done, but wow, I don't know how many hats you're going to wear. But no, I liked it. 8 shots for me, so yeah, I thought it was cool. Looking forward to more. Dave, how'd you go?
Yeah, this is cool, and pretty much everything Girish touches turns to gold. And I don't think he would associate himself with a band that couldn't play. The story behind the brothers and the father and like the little bio that's on Spotify, it's really fascinating. And this is a cool little band's first single release from this. I love this song. I love his vocals. It sounds cool and everything. I give it 9 shots. My only concern is because he's doing so many projects, I hope he doesn't spread himself too thin and dilute the impact that Girish and the Chronicles have, because that band came on the scene, released an album, then the follow-up was fantastic, and then they released their early album. Yeah, they're fantastic, and like that band is next level. The guitarist, which is Girish's younger brother, I believe, he's fucking phenomenal. Drummer, the bass, they write great songs. I hope he doesn't dilute his impact by being too common,
too busy. Yeah,
I really hope that doesn't happen. Because pretty much whatever he touches turns to gold. He's great. Yeah. The rest of the band is also equally great. So
yeah, I'm with you. I don't want it to dilute Girish.
Don't dilute. Don't neglect what brought you to the dance, man. Because Girish and the Chronicles are fantastic. But I give this 9 shots. This is cool.
Nice. All right, Jeff, how about you?
Yeah. Look, I really like this guy. So my introduction to this guy, Girish, was the End Machine with George Lynch. That was my introduction. I didn't know his other stuff before, so I'm like, holy fuck, this guy can sing and can he, right? And you know, of course, I dock marks. I even took points off that when he was playing with George Lynch because they're not playing with their fucking guitars plugged in. Fuck off!
You did.
Just playing in. You got amps and shit behind you. Nothing's plugged in. Give me a break. So, you know. But having said all that, yeah, I'm going to give this 9 shots as well. This is just a great song. He carries the song. He carries it.
Yeah, he does.
He's
so
the star, man.
he is the magic sauce in this music, and the music is great. There's no question, the music is great. And I think it's the same thing with the End Machine. He carries that as well. So yeah, love it. 9 shots from me. Just plug your fucking guitars in.
Yeah. dude, you have heard Grisham the Chronicles, though, haven't you?
No, I don't think I have. No.
Check it out, man. You will enjoy it.
Like,
you will enjoy it.
Yeah?
Go straight to Rise of the Phoenix. That song. All right. I'll link you up tomorrow, man.
Yeah, do it. Because I'm curious. Because this guy can fucking sing.
That band, man. Girish and the Chronicles. Whatever you've heard of.
He's fucking brother on guitar, dude.
Okay, yeah.
You're a guitar player, man.
I love recommendations. I'll check it out for sure.
I want to keep us moving. So, Conrad, your thoughts on this song? How many shots?
This is hitting around the nail. Decent, good riffing, good singer, great singer, good riffing. I liked it. I'm going to give this 7 shots.
Nice. Cool. That's all right. We're doing a win there. All right.
There.
Cool.
Yeah.
We got
it hasn't quite hit it out of
not out of the park yet. No,
yeah,
we're getting there. We're still warming up. We're in the batting cage warming up at the moment. That's where we are.
Dude, I'm old man. The Viagra's wearing off.
No, we need a lot longer to warm up. That's the problem. Michael says 8 shots, pretty solid track. Looking forward to hearing more from them. Vinny says 9 shots me the nail, the sound for all tastes.
That's my dude.
Yes.
And Bash says you know
homie.
There we go. Good to see you, Basher, as well. Thanks for
you nailed it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, nice going. Very good.
And Slipknot fan has gone. Did you guys see the recent Liquid Death commercial? Ozzy Osbourne did it.
Yes. How fucking funny was that shit?
Okay, cool. There you go. I haven't got time to keep up.
It's so good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm glad. Dave, link us in the chat
tomorrow. It's not a drug.
Yeah.
It's an energy drink.
All right, cool. Link us tomorrow, Dave.
Don't snort it. Don't inject it.
Fucking hell. Dave, link us in the chat tomorrow. All right. I want to see that one. All right, cool. So yeah, sorry, you got one of us there, Slipknot fan. Unfortunately, not all of us. Vinny says I've got my shot ready for that line. Well, let's see. We've got one song to go. Let's quickly get there. This was assigned to Belle. She's not here, so we're going to quickly do our thoughts on it. This is Those Damn Crows with Let's Go Psycho. Link in the comments and the description box. Nominated by Michael. Made it to number 1. Excuse me, this week. This is the latest single from the Welsh band based on the idea of a 3-way conversation between human, God, and AI. Which one of us is actually more godlike? Did God lose?
A 3-way between God and AI.
No, I don't
know.
That. And will we one day lose control of AI where it will ask us, its maker, the same questions? An interesting little sort of thing there. This whole thing this whole video and song was inspired by a trip he took, so, work it out from there. The first taste was to come of the band's upcoming 4th album, though it's worth knowing their last album, Inhale, Exhale, was only released in February 2023, so they're moving pretty quickly. Nominated, like I said, by Michael, to number 1 spot this week pretty comfortably. So it was very much the popular song of the week. Let's just quickly do the rounds. Fucking hell. Dave, you're first. How'd you go with this one?
What was Dave Grohl once associated with this band?
Oh, I don't recall.
No, you're thinking of those Crooked Vultures.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you. Because I don't know why I made that associated. Like triple words in the band name, but I think this is the first time I heard this band. This was pretty cool. Cool heavy riff, high energy, great hook to the chorus. I can't remember it, but I'm drunk, so fuck that. I give it 8 shots. Nice.
All right, cool. 8 from Dave. Conrad, last shot. Are we going to give Vinny a drink or what?
Oh, yeah, I like this. This is Those Damn Crows. This is 9 shots.
Ooh.
I gave this 9 shots. This is bright. It's really bright. It's uplifting.
Motherfucker.
And it's in your face. It's in your face and strong. So I like this. This is good. Yeah. 9 shots.
Cool.
Very bright.
Jeff.
Yeah, I like this a lot as well. This had it was really punchy, in your face. Absolutely, it's got a lot of energy. Cool riffs, good guitar riff. It's I liked it, and it made me think like, fuck, I wanted to grab my guitar and just play it and learn it right away, and it did. So it's like that. So that's when I know it's a good song for me, when I want to grab my guitar.
Yeah.
And so I really liked it. So I'm gonna give it 9 shots. Boom.
Nice. I'm going to go on the same wagon. I'm giving it 9 as well. I love the rhythm and the riff on this one. It's got great energy. And that's what hits you from the start with this song. There's the energy of it. I love the way it builds into the chorus, though. It's got great writing, great performances across it. It sounds great, too. Really infectious. Good luck not getting caught up and moving with this song. I think it's got a really good infectious quality about it. It's got a massive hook in the chorus, too.
These guys are Welsh?
Welsh, yeah. Welsh.
Yeah, from that's from my people. Those are my people.
That's it. It's from your people.
I was born in Wales.
Yeah.
I was born in Wales, so
yeah.
That's my homie. That's my shit. That's my homie, yo.
But for me, on this song, it gave me a bit of a cross between sort of Danko Jones and Monster Magnet as a kind of as a reference point for this one. Just I don't know, something about that just put me on one of these two bands. I don't know. I might be way off, but that's how it felt to me. It's got great lyrics. I love the intensity this one has too, especially on sort of the psycho lyric there. It has it all, this song. It's easy to see why it made its number 1 this week, I think, and I agree with it. It's my pick of the bunch as well. So, 9 shots for me. I think it was a fantastic, fantastic addition to the playlist this week. So, well done to Michael for picking a number 1 song this week, and we'll see what happens with the results tomorrow as we go through the votes. Still had a fun laugh at Dave and his rendition of the commercial before. Vinny, I know you like this one, Vinny. Vinny says 10 shots for those damn crows. I think I overdosed and had my stomach pumped on this track. All in.
I've never had my stomach pumped. I think I'm missing something.
Down the hatch. There we go. So Vinny's having fun there. Ben's here, supporting from New Zealand. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're keeping well over there. Michael, here we go. 10 self-shots. Loved it on the first listen. These guys are Welsh, by the way. Pretty good outfit. Worth listening to more of their tracks. Will do indeed. And Vinny says, chin, chin, Dave. Bottoms up. There we go. Yep. All righty. On to the build a playlist thing quickly here. We're going to try and go through these 2 rounds rather quickly. Dave has Bell's votes for us, which is good to have on hand. Going to do a quick recap. Last week we did round 7, which was presents. We're doing a week by week picking songs from Led Zeppelin studio albums. Tonight we're going to do 2 albums. We're going to do In Through the Outdoor, the actual final official studio album, and we're also going to do Coda, which is the album that followed that, which is the mishmash of studio outtakes and things like that, which is actually pretty cool. But anyway, last week we did presents. Jeff took Achilles' Last Stand. Conrad took For Your Life. Dave took Nobody's Fault But Mine. I had T for One, and Bell took Royal Orleans. Before that, Dave was at the back of the pack at 155. I was on 160 points. Jeff was on 165. Then I was out in front with Conrad 190 and Bell on 230. That's where we were last week. So a bit of a setting the table there for that. So we're going to go through this one pretty quickly, unfortunately. I want to get to the chaos shit in a moment. So for last week, we got 10 points to Bell, believe it or not. The front runner got 10 points with Royal Orleans, so that one got her 10 points.
20 I don't think she can lose this thing, can she?
Nope, she can't. Is it?
Can't lose, but it's we'll get to a second. T for One got 20 points. That's 20 points for me. Conrad got For Your Life. That got you 30 points, which means that Dave got 40 for Nobody's Fault But Mine, and Jeff, Achilles' Last Stand, with 50 points.
I thought Nobody's Fault But Mine might pull it out.
We all thought the same in a lot of respects, but that means that the order has changed. Where last week Dave was in last, I'm now last on 180 points. Dave is now second last on 195.
Yeah.
Jeff is still in third on 215. Jeff is still in third, but Conrad is only 5 points ahead on 220, and Bell's lead has been cut dramatically. He's now only 20 points out in front on 240. So it's getting tight now. We'll see what happens. Bell is in.
She could lose.
She could not take first spot, so she was in a really commanding position. Now we'll see what happens as these go through. Alrighty, so on that note, let's move through as we go on to it. So we got In Through the Outdoor. Dave, you have Bell's vote. So what is Bell taking from that album, In Through the Outdoor?
Yeah, Bell goes first, doesn't she? She has a note on this album. It simply says, "This album sucks. Thank God it was their last."
Oh, wow.
She has picked All of My Love, which, to be honest, is a good fucking choice.
It's a hard one to top that one, seriously.
Yeah.
All right, so Bell has taken the obvious All of My Love, which is fair enough, to be honest. I think you'd be mad not to take that one, to be blunt.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a very good song.
Which leaves us over to Jeff. You get the next call. What have you got?
Well, Bell actually took my first choice. That was
she took everyone's. Let's be honest.
Look, so that kind of leaves the album sort of open. There's probably 2 choices that most people are going to be drawn to at this point. and that's In the Evening and Fool in the Rain. And I think probably between those two songs, I got to think strategically here now. In all fairness, I got a chance. I think I'm going to go with In the Evening.
Cool. All right.
Second choice. Going fourth this week sucks.
Dave, I'm going last, man. What the fuck are you talking about? Right. Which means, Conrad, you're in third. So what are you taking off of In Through the Outdoor?
In Through the Outdoor. Ooh, I like Fool in the Rain.
Yeah, cool. That's the best. Yeah, absolutely.
Motherfucker, that's my third.
It's a great song, man.
Fool in the Rain. That was the best song on the album.
Yeah. Well, now we're into the straggler songs.
Yeah. We're taking 5 songs from a 7-song album, so work it out. Dave, your call.
I'm gonna go with the Slow Blues. I gotta know. I can't remember it. I'm gonna crawl, which I might if I finish off that bottle tonight.
Yeah, you probably will. Back to the house.
Be at work tomorrow.
But I got stock take tomorrow.
Oh
fucking
shit!
timing on this shit.
Good luck with that. All right. Well, all of my choices were blitzed as well, so I'm going to take Southbound Suarez. That's what I'm going to take out of this song. I actually really did enjoy that song. I know that it's not the best album, but it is. We're going to move on to Coda, which I think is actually probably a better collection of songs overall.
No wonder John Bonham drunk himself to death.
Yeah,
he didn't.
He didn't. But anyway,
he choked.
Anyway, speaking of Coda, I get to go first because we rotate. Whoever goes last in the round before goes first the next time round. So I get to take first pick this time round. And interesting collection of songs. It's funny how the streaming numbers are so dramatically lower on this one compared to other ones. But
this album was a money grab just right off the bat.
I get that, but at the same time, as a collection of songs, I might be stronger than In Through the Outdoor, man.
Maybe.
I think
all these songs were rejected. They didn't make the fucking albums. So
I get that.
There's a reason.
I listened to the albums back to back, man, and this one felt stronger to me. Like it genuinely felt like a stronger listen. Anyway, I'm gonna take Ozone Baby from this one.
You fucking
all right. Which means Belle goes second, and Dave, you have Belle's vote. What's Belle's vote?
I didn't. She had a backup. God damn. She went with I Can't Quit You, Baby. That was her first. Okay, that was actually my first as well, but I'm fifth, so I can't complain. But fuck, yeah, she gets a good one.
Cool. All righty, so Jeff, now you get to go.
Yeah, so I guess
8-song album, 5 songs taken. What are you gonna?
Yeah. What are you gonna take? Right. There's still a couple songs here that are pretty decent. This was never an album that I've listened to a couple times in my life, and then that put it on the shelf and never
complete the collection because it's Zeppelin.
Correct,
you don't get it because it's a good album.
No. Yeah. But there are some good songs on it. And I'm gonna go with Wearing and Tearing. I think the last song on the album is probably the strongest.
I like that one. Yeah, that's a cool one. All right, Conrad, pick 4.
Take Poor Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Tom.
Tom. That's a good song.
No, not you, Conrad. My computer. Fuck. I can't do this. Okay. Really?
Final pick.
Really? I get my second choice. Okay, we're gonna groove.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Bell's second choice too. Yeah, shit.
Okay.
I'm happy with
that. That could possibly make the votes very interesting. Actually, knowing that you guys took those one, both of you took that one.
I couldn't.
Yeah, no, that's all right. But just to quickly recap, we'll get voting done over the next couple of weeks on this one, so just stick around, keep your eye on social. But for In Through the Outdoor, Belle took All My Love, Jeff took In the Evening, Connor took Fall in the Rain, Dave took I'm Gonna Crawl, and I took Southbound Suarez. For Coda, I took Ozone Baby, Belle took Can't Quit You Baby, Jeff took Wearing and Tearing, Connor took Poor Tom, and Dave took We're Gonna Groove. That is where we're at in that one. All right, audience comments. Let's see here. Ben says, "What's up, Conrad, Dave, Andrew, and Gimli?" Okay.
Saying I'm Gimli.
Must
I guess
be,
maybe
man.
it's the beard. It's the beard.
Yeah, it must
Not
be
the beard. Not the beard.
Yeah, he's gone. Love you all. Anyways, rock on here. Always rocking on here. Cheers, Jeff. So there you go. There's some fun there.
Thank
and
you.
Says, In Through the Outdoors sounds like something dodgy Led Zeppelin did to their groupies for ends in the heyday. Well, that may be where the idea came from. Who knows? No, it came from the tax exile they put themselves through and all that sort of stuff as they were going through things as it was. But yeah.
Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but I looked in the comments section last week.
Yeah.
And we've got a comment from John Paul Jones. Now, is it the John Paul Jones? I believe it could be. I looked at his profile. And he's saying this is the official fucking I'm the real deal shit. He's got his picture up.
Yeah.
And it's he was commenting on our stream, basically. He's commenting on some comments that I made, and he commented on them. I'm thinking, is it the real John Paul Jones? Possibly.
No,
I'm not going to rule it out. But you might have to look through and see, and you tell me, guys, what you think. But it's possible.
Wow. What did he say?
On the stream, yeah. You missed that, Dave. Holy shit.
Well, yeah, it's...
I was going to yell that. Very good.
No.
He yelled at. Well, John Paul Jones might have. I'm going to say might have. But it looks like he could have very well done, because I looked at his profile and it looks like it possibly is him. He commented on our show.
May have commented on a video.
What now? John Paul Jones is watching the Hard Rock Show right now.
Last week.
Maybe he might be watching it right now. But
he might be watching it right now.
I love your work.
He's watching right now. He should be.
No, he was watching last week.
John Paul Jones was the genius in that band. He was.
Yeah.
So,
am I sucking up to his ass?
No, Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page plays guitar.
If you're watching again, we thank you for tuning in.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Like James Hetfield, Dave Mustaine, thank John Petrucci.
Anyone and everyone that watches, we thank anyone and everyone that watches, to be fair.
Yeah, right.
Yes, we thank everybody.
Yes.
Thank you for putting up.
We love you all.
Basically, yeah.
We keep coming back for more of our stupidity.
Yeah, well, and tonight more so than usual. Ben also says, I heard stories about them catching fish from the balcony of the hotel and using them for nefarious purposes.
I've heard those stories too. I've never used a fish. I don't have to.
All right, let's get to it. We've got about an hour to get through as many of these topics as we can. So let's not dawdle on these. Let's try and fire off as much as we can. All right, this is where we go embrace the chaos. We asked Patreon for their be free or paid members. We asked all of our Patreon members to come up with topics. We went through and picked some ourselves. We're going to try and get through the ones we picked first and then go to the bonus ones. We're not going to get through everything tonight. I have got them all here logged. We're going to go through and do something with all these topics that have come up in some point in the future. So just because it may not get called out tonight doesn't mean it won't get used. We do have plans for this and to expand this whole format in the months ahead as this goes through. We have a lot of ideas going on.
Why did I come up with this idea? God knows how this is going to turn out.
I have no idea, Dave. We're going to see how things go. All right, so first one that I'm going to go to, oh, God, here we go. Christopher Reed put this one in, and he's gone, hot topic, more international rock shows in suburban venues.
Reed.
Christopher Reed.
He's not dead. He didn't break his neck.
No, Reed, not Reeve. Reed.
Christopher Reed, Superman.
Wow. Speaking of celebrities, we got one from the grave. No,
sorry.
Christopher Reed has a hot
Man of Steel. Check this shit. You can't get more metal than that.
I know, right? More international rock shows in suburban venues, e.g. Northcote Social Club with Yngwie Malmsteen, Cradle of Filth, Frankston, Killswitch Engage. Why do you think this is happening? Is this good, as in variety, better quality venue, or more authentic, or bad, limited parking, distance, few transport options if you've been drinking? I drew my name out first on this one, so I'm going to have first crack at this. Now, I think it's neither good nor bad. I just think it's a reflection of where we are, especially in Australia. We've seen a lot of venues close, and that means that the bigger venues that used to hold, say, 500 to 800 people, maybe to 1,000 people, there's only like a couple of those left. Cherry Bar had to move. We've lost the Bendy. Whole Lot of Love's gone. There's a whole lot of venues that have been struggling, and we lose them fast and they pop up. When it comes to places like the Northcote, it's about 220 cap there. That's what the Cherry Bar used to have. I think Pelly Bar and Frankston's around the same number. There's nowhere else really for them to play.
What's that? The Croxton. Croxton. That's
the
a great
Croxton has about 1,000.
That's amazing, that one.
That's a great venue. We had our first extravaganza there. It's about 1,000, just under 1,000 cap there. I just think it's just the brutal reality. You've either got to play. There's like one or two of those places in the Croxton where it's 1,000 people. Otherwise, your next step up is things like Festival Hall, which is what the fuck goes on there now? Who knows? Otherwise, it's the Rod Laver spin-offs, which it's 5,000 plus. It's that, right. Or you go down to these 200 cap venues, which you don't have many options left. So I think that the punters are going to get more bang for buck with a show like that in a place like that. But I just think this is the brutal reality of the music and touring industry as it is rearing its ugly head and biting in that respect as things move along. That's my thoughts on it. Dave, you're up next.
Yeah, I think that the city has kind of died since COVID. People don't have to go in there to work anymore. You can just go into the office once a month, maybe, if you have to, for your meeting. So the city isn't what it used to be. It's not the be-all and end-all of entertainment. It's not the be-all and end-all of work or socialization or anything. So the outer suburbs are starting to become a lot more viable and popular. And if there's a train station, you don't have to worry about parking. You can just get to wherever you need to go. So I think that actually playing 1 or 2 or 3 shows in the outskirts rather than one in the city might be actually a better idea than what we used to do. I mean, it costs money to tour. If you can actually come over and do 2 or 3 shows on the outskirts rather than one in the middle, and then go to Sydney and do the same thing, and Brisbane do the same thing, you can play more shows, maybe appeal to more people. It's a different idea, a different energy, but the way we used to do things is long dead. Yeah. So I think it's interesting because more and more people are turning up to go to Frankston, to like Northcote.
Yeah.
So I just think it's definitely worth a try. If it gets more bands over here, and like you said, a lot of venues come and go, and it's sad to see things change, but it's definitely worth a try. So I'm cool.
You want to make the best of it anyway, don't you? Like you can't put your penny back in the bottle.
Absolutely. So. I'd rather have to. Besides, it's closer to me to go to Frankston than it is to go to the city. It costs money to fucking either take a train or to pay for parking or to break down in the fucking entrance of a parking garage.
Yeah,
like I did last time.
Yeah,
it's a hassle. It really is. If you can do it closer, you can just go up to the fucking train station and go 2 or 3 suburbs up to see a band rather than plan your whole fucking weekend. I'm going to go with what's closer. So that's absolutely cool with me. So go for it.
Cool. All right. I don't know. Have we got Conrad or have we lost Conrad? I'm not sure what's happening with Conrad's.
We have a stick.
I see. I think it's an arm, but I'm not sure.
I hope it's an arm.
That's not an arm. It's a baby's arm.
On that note, while we wait for Conrad to come back in, what are your thoughts on this one then?
Yeah, look, I agree with everything that you guys have said. Logistically, it's good for bands, and it's really good for the punter. It's good for the people, right? If the band, simply put, if band is playing more places, even if they're smaller, they hold less people. There's going to be more chance for the people on the outsides to go see them. I don't think many bands are just coming all the way from America to play fucking Frankston. Let's be honest. They might.
Yeah.
But they're probably playing someplace else as well. And so, like, I can sort of speak. So back where I'm from in Canada, I mean, this is obviously an Australian thing, but I can give you some background. So there's a theater there that was there many, many, many years ago. Then it closed. It became like a bicycle store. Seriously.
Wow.
And some guy bought it with the intention of turning it back into the theater, which he did. And guess what? Once it became available, all these international artists started playing. I mean, like everybody, you name it, they've played there. And I spent my whole life in that city pretty much. And if I wanted to see a band, I had to travel. and I had to go to Toronto or Ottawa or someplace like that. And then since I've left, all those bands now, the same ones that I went and saw, have all been into my little town. Yeah, like fucking Bon Jovi playing in my hometown.
That's cool.
Alice Cooper, the Red Rocker there, Sammy Hagar. You name it. These guys have all played there, and so it's the same thing here. And so I think it's just good. It's just good. There's really no, and they can play there, and they don't need to bring their equipment. They don't need to bring, trucks and shit like that. They can just show up and use the back hall that's there,
Nice.
or rent, if they have to rent a back hall or whatever from a local music store. That does good things for that music store in that place. So ultimately, I think it's just good. I can't see really a downside to it.
Okay, cool. Comments. Let's see what the comments are saying. What do we got here? Jeez. Joe Biden joined the chat from Vinny. Good luck with that. Ben's gone. John Biden is definitely watching. There we go. Probably. Kat, good to see you. 170 Russell, not bad venue size wise, but yeah, we've lost heaps, especially the Brunswick is gone. Yeah. 170 Russell. That's the old hi-fi bar, I think, or is that something else?
Is it? Or I thought
that's
still there.
Was that Max Watts?
Hi-Fi is Max Watts now. Yeah. 170 Russell is a different venue. They're both good venues.
Straight across.
It's
similar. Very similar.
Yeah. But you don't hear many advertise those venues anymore either at the moment, which is a bit
odd. Well, that's where Murder Dolls played. That was fucking cool.
Okay.
Well, Wednesday 13 during Murder Dolls.
Yeah. Vinny's gone, have to agree. The city is dying slowly and going to a suburban venue is more appealing to me. That's just gentrification across the board. It happens everywhere. Ben says, Dave's like a fucking box of chocolates. What you found in your local train station, except you kind of know what you're going to get. Absolute fuckery. Well done. Basher says, most visited venues for me are the Croxton and the Corner. They're both awesome. The Corner is a great place too. Michael's gone, I found that most gigs are more around Northcote, Brunswick, and Fitzroy more than anywhere else post-COVID. I had to travel a fair distance now to photograph bands, that's the reality of it. And it is the northern suburbs, which seems to be doing a lot more of that kind of stuff there too. So it just seems to have shifted that way. I don't know why, but it is. Vinny says, looks like Connor was smashing it out of the ballpark, literally bottoms up. Michael also said, because Michael does a lot of photography. Just for those who don't know, follow Michael and his photography work. There aren't as many gigs out my way nowadays. Popular venue, York on Lilydale, doesn't get many gigs other than country acts, it seems now. Yeah, York on Lilydale is a great venue. I don't know why it doesn't get as many as it should. I love that place. I used to live out that way myself in the basin. Michael says, we were talking the other night about pubs like Middle on the Ferntree Gully. Oh, wow. And the Manhattan, Village Green, Notting Hill. Wow, that's going back in time.
Village Green,
Variety bands and international sort those. Yeah, there were some great venues back in the day. You don't hear about those places anymore. Vinny says Athenaeum is a nice venue to visit for bands, but admittedly, it's been quite a while for now for me. Possibly, for all of us. Michael says, I miss places
they're still around.
Like the Seaview Ballroom from my youth, and of course the Palace. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, Connor says, phone overheated. I'm out. We'll comment from my laptop. Okay, cool. But okay, at least we know what's going on with Conrad. Good to have you there. Michael 170.
Did you knock it out of the ballpark, dude?
I was going there. Billboard. And Kat says Musicland is too fucking far from me too. Musicland is out of the way, but it's a good venue.
Yeah, I've never been there. I hear it's good though.
It's a good venue. I liked it.
I'll go there one day. Fuck it.
Yeah, it was like 10 minutes away from my old place in Mill Park. Lee says, love the Inner North venue. Selfishly, as close to home, so I enjoy the Croxton Thornbury Theatre. Yeah, there were some good venues up there. There are, sorry, not were. Michael says, I work down the road from the Village Greens. They're constant posts of tribute bands and then more than original bands. That's unfortunate, but it's the way it's going to go too, because venues need to make money, unfortunately. Edge Crusher, good to see you tonight. Saw Riot City at Stay Gold, so small. Stay Gold. That is a great little venue, but you don't hear anything there anymore either. It's another one that's like...
That was weird. They came along. They were really popular for like fucking years.
Bang. Yeah.
Yeah. They're still around there, aren't they? They're still...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all these venues, but you just don't hear any gigs advertised anymore, which is weird. All right, next topic. Next topic comes from Vinny. So, Vinny, I know you're here. I think, Jeff, you picked this one out of the lot. I think it's inevitable that we're going to have to embrace AI when it comes to creating music. Hans Nader is an example of an artist pumping out some decent material. Are we on the point of having to let go of tradition. Do not spend an hour on this one, okay?
I know
people.
Why do you say that, dude?
Yeah.
To everyone, to all of us. Don't just give us a brief
It's a
rundown.
passionate fucking topic.
I know, but it's one of those things that will fire us up. Let's try to. We've got other topics to get through, but just as a footnote. All right, who's first? Conrad will be first. Well, I'll go first. Is it time to embrace it? Whew. I think we're a long way from really knowing where it's all going to land yet. I think over the next 5 to 10 years, that might be a bit optimistic for some people, but I think over the next 5 to 10 years, when we'll really start to work out where this sits. And I think in a lot of respects, we'll look back on this time as the same thing as when auto-tune came in and really fucked with everything. And now we're going back the other way where people are more appreciating the organic side of things. I think it all goes in swings and roundabouts over time. I don't know. I think AI will now be a part of the creative industry, be it visually, audio, whatever the case may be. It's going to be a part of the creative industry. How well it's utilized, I think, will come down to the people behind it, which I think in the end comes down to the same thing it always does. It comes down to how well people connect with their audience. So AI has to be generated by prompts and that, so the people behind it will have to find a way to make it more engaging with an audience than a real band, quote unquote, will. That'll be the litmus test for it all. I don't think we need to, quote unquote, accept it as a given, except for the fact that it'll be a part of the industry. It's here. It's already going to be a part of the industry. But how much it's going to influence things, how much it makes things easier, and how much it does things like, but there are pros too, like things like being able to use it for stripping audio tracks out and being able to, manipulate things we wouldn't have heard before, like, previous recordings that were just so washed out with other sounds. Maybe you can isolate things easier using AI.
A Beatles song.
Yeah, there are technical aspects that are possibly good. It's going to have good and bad, like everything else, like auto-tune, like everything else. I think we're going to go back in a few years' time, look at this at the same window as that, for me personally, without going too long on a rant for it. But anyway, Dave.
Okay, I'll try and make this quick.
Yeah.
I fucking hate anything to do with artificial intelligence. I can't see a point to have it at all. A couple of weeks ago, there were some high school boys actually arrested for using social media images of their classmates, females, and manipulating it to make porn videos from this shit. I can't see a single fucking reason why we need artificial intelligence in this world at all. There is nothing that is good about it at all. Yep. Nothing at all. As far as music goes, I work with a guy. I've worked with him for about 5 years, since before COVID, and he produces electronic music.
Yeah.
He also likes a lot of like rock music. He's very musical. And we've had a lot of discussions about electronic music and everything, and the way I've learned a lot from him. I can't stand it, but I've come to understand the production behind it. Yeah. There is a skill to it. There is a creativity. A lot of it is just because you can. It's not about it being a musician. It's about making idiots dance in the fucking rave to a speech that Joe Biden might have done 2 years ago, and manipulating it to within an inch of its life so that people can't understand what the fuck he's saying. Yeah. Exactly.
It's fucking not the David Copperfield when it comes to music. It's the David Copperfield.
Exactly. Now, even this guy, even he hates this fucking idea of artificial intelligence. He's like, we're going to be in a stage where we're going to be longing for auto-tune. The fucked up thing is that you don't need to know a single damn thing about music production at all. You can just type or speak a command into your artificial intelligence generator, and you have your song. And then if you want to remix, you just say, give me 10 or 20 fucking remixes. Give me the funky version, give me the extended version, give me the rap version, give me the fucking Kanye West mashed with Taylor Swift. It's guaranteed to sell. Yeah. You don't need to know shit. Now, 25 years ago, everyone was fucking cool to get rid of the music industry. You didn't want the fucking record companies screwing, or whatever the bullshit reason to get music for free was. You were fine with that. You didn't want to pay for fucking music. We have seen the results of that. We've seen the results of auto-tune. Now, you want to get rid of giving the power back to the musicians, to the fucking bands, and give it to tech companies. You're not giving it back to the fucking record companies. You're giving it to tech companies who don't give a shit about fucking music, who don't know shit about music. It's just an easy fucking cash grab. That's all it is. It's just because we can. And you're cool with that. No, we do not have to go against tradition. Why the fuck are people happy with just typing a command? It was bad enough when you could just, like, with Beat Doctor and all those fucking all the production tools and all the tricks to make it easier to produce music. All the fucking hours that go into learning an instrument, whatever your instrument is, from a fucking guitar to a fucking violin, why are you cool with just letting a computer or letting somebody type a command in to do it quicker?
I don't think artists are.
Easier. But that's the thing. When you can do it so much quicker, cheaper, and easier, why would you put the work in? We're talking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 generations into the future. It is going to kill the natural. And with all... The fucked up thing is there's so many bands trying to sound digital with all the production and all the trickery. And AI is trying to recreate the natural. I would rather listen to AI, to be honest, because it sounds natural, because you got fucking bands trying to sound like a computer. It's really fucked up, and even though I hate AI. But no, I'm an old guy, 44 years old. If it means I listen to the same Jimi Hendrix 4 albums over and over again, I am more than cool with that, because it's fucking real. I'm obsolete. I'm over 40. So it's fucked up. It should be over 60, but over 40, I'm obsolete. It's not my world anymore. If this is what the young generation wants, then fucking fine. What I thought was so important, what I thought I was passionate about growing up, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm old. I'm obsolete.
Okay. We'll keep doing what we do.
If you want a computer to do things quicker, cheaper, and easier, then good luck to you. Fuck it. I don't care. I really don't. Fuck it. I got my CDs. I'm happy.
All right. Jeff, I know you're passionate about this world. What have you got to say on this?
Well, okay, trying to think of where to start. And try to keep it concise.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to go with whether or not people like AI or don't like AI. We're all using AI. If you're using Spotify, you're using AI. All those recommended playlists, that's all AI.
AI generated.
There's not somebody sitting there going, hey, I think he likes this, put that there. It's all done.
Yeah,
right.
Algorithms are AI now.
Algorithms are there. So
that's why social media is taking a nosedive over the last 6 months.
Yeah, that's why I stay the fuck off Facebook now, because it's all fuck.
Yeah.
The problem here is that music is no longer valued. Right? We have a whole generation.
It never was really.
It was valued.
It used to be. There was a time where it was. It used to be your survival.
Be very valued. And I'll tell you why it was valued. Because you saw an album in a magazine, or your friends told you about a band or something you liked. You went to work. You made the money. You got paid. You put that money into the bank. Then you went to the bank. You took that money, $10 out, whatever. You drove, got on the bus. You took a car, get fuel to get there. You went to the record store. You purchased the album. You took it home. You listened to it. And then you maybe 3 or 4 times, and then you took it over to your friend's place and said, check this out.
Yeah.
Not done
anything. You copied it for them. You shared it. Yeah. You shared fucking ideas about it. Yeah. It was valuable.
The problem is that you spent your $10.99 to buy that album, and now you have literally every song and every album from every band who ever was for $10.99 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now music is completely devalued. It has, and there's a generation
fast
now.
Food, drive-through shit.
Well, it's worse than that, because you have a generation who's never seen anything other than that.
Yeah,
right.
So, there's a topic about that coming up. So yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
and so I think that's the biggest problem, is that music is too easy to create. It's been devalued by anyone who doesn't understand that this is not how it always was. And so there's a whole generation now, and that's just going to get worse. Any kids born in the last 5 years or in the next 20, they're not, by the time they're our age, they're not going to know anything else, right? So AI now,
there are people that are learning how to sing in the style of AI, because you can't do it any other way, because people are conditioned to hear it that way. Not AI, auto-tune.
Auto-tune. Yeah, that's right. And they don't, if they don't hear that, they go nuts, right? Because they call it.
That's
old
just
man
the way people think a human voice sings like.
That's the problem. But you've got, when you have all these artists now that are making music in the past, AI is now learned all that catalog, because it's all digital. AI has learned it. So now you can literally, type in a command or just say, create a song, blah, 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 blah. And it creates it exactly in the artist that you want. And and this is ultimately going to make it so that
it'll test legislations and laws. It will.
It will. But it's legal, because it's only with
now.
It's a version of it. It's like you can't copyright a fucking recipe if you make a version of it. Yes, you can copyright the Big Mac name and you can copyright all that shit. But if I want to make a Big Mac in my house, there's nobody going to be knocking on my door and say, "Hey, dude, you made a Big
you're
Mac."
making money off that Big Mac at your house. So if someone's trying to make money off
someone's
this,
personal image or their voice, there should be a precedent to be able to copyright your image or voice.
Copyright
there isn't, because if you belong,
there should be though. That's the fucked up thing. They moved so slowly 25 years ago with fucking Napster and streaming.
In Australia,
it's
as soon as
so far behind.
Copyright law applies. So just
yes,
so you
but
know.
Copyright law that was written 70 fucking years ago.
It's not plagiarism when it's similar. If you take a name, you copyright, you're going, in trouble. If I put an album out that's similar, music wise to something else, I can claim that, well, I was inspired by that, or
there is
AI. There is a line, I know, but unfortunately, it's getting blurred. And
that's the fucked up thing, because it was Ed Sheeran recently that won that court case.
I'm gonna everyone who's watching, there's a video, and it's by a guy by the name of Rick Beato. I want you to type this into YouTube, and it's the real reason why music is getting worse. Watch that video. It's a short video. It literally goes for 12 minutes. Watch Rick that, and you'll understand everything there is to know about what we're saying tonight. So that's all I'm gonna say.
All right, cool.
Rick Beato is a fucking champion.
He is. Let's move. I want to get to the audience comments though. What do we got?
That went quick. I was really worried about that topic.
I know. We did well there. I'm actually impressed. We did that very well. So let's just sort of keep the momentum going. Michael says the York close for me, but it's a wasteland. Used to have good bands and huge brawls. Yeah, the York on Lilydale did have some issues in the past. Great venue. Ben says Conrad is the chocolate that someone started to eat and then felt guilty about after realizing you're still on a diet, and you put it back in the wrapper and pop it back in the fucking box. Wow.
Can't say I've ever wanted to nibble Conrad, but fucking whatever turns you on.
I can tell you, Conrad is smiling in England now with that comment.
Johnny is kind of shocking. I'm not sure it's shocking, but something is shocking. Cat's going to agree with you, Dave. Give me real musos any day. Well, this is going to be a thing. Ben says, I've been fighting the Tourette's urge to use AI to make my friends' pictures sing George Michael songs and post them on their Facebook pages. Mate, Rickroll them. It'd be funnier. Could you imagine Jeff singing Careless Whisper? I'll fucking make it happen.
Fucking do it, buddy. I fucking love it.
Do you know what? You know what's fucked up? My friend at work, who does like the digital audio production, he's actually grabbed one of our streams and he's found an AI app to use our voices. And he's like, dude, you better fucking check your bank accounts and everything, and make sure they're all secure, because this technology exists now. He can manipulate our voices. He's done this, but it's American. So it doesn't exactly work. It's got the American accent on us. We're online. We're part of the fucking social media world.
Yeah.
Okay. This shit exists now. We've been manipulated. It's happened.
Yeah, and I have no doubt of that. That's why I've kept everything that I can as secure as I can. As long as we've been doing it. So don't worry about that for us. That's why we don't get hacked.
We may be forced to all talk with voice fucking modulators, so that a real voice.
Can you imagine
there's also talk in the future. This is where things like the blockchain will come into effect, and there's a lot of chat. This is a whole wide world of other shit, so I'm not going to go into that.
That's the segment should be called.
Jeff the Canadian as an American. How does that make you feel?
Well, I've been called worse things, but
I'm not your buddy, motherfucker.
Anyway, Vinny says the one thing I feel with AI, it's allowing creative types who are just short of becoming fully fledged musicians to join the industry, turning an idea into tangible product in a shorter time frame.
That's right.
Not everyone gets to win. Not everyone gets to win.
No. Who does get to win is the music industry, because right now we've got an industry where they're actually on Spotify, and this is no word of a lie. I'm based this on a record guy that knows the industry that I watched on Rick Beato. He said that on Spotify right now is a plethora of artists. Okay, they're not real people. They have millions of subscribers. They're pumping out music, and the record company that's making it is getting all the money.
Yeah.
I think that we will get to the point.
All these technology tricks have made people that they love music. I'm not taking that away from them. They have the passion for it. They're not physically capable of learning an instrument.
No.
So you get to cheat
anymore.
You don't need to learn the fucking instrument. So everyone that has in the past gets fucked over. It's really shit time.
It's a slippery slope. It all started when we could start making an album in our fucking home We got the equipment. Now, if you got a laptop, why would I go out and if I'm an industry, why would I pay for a band when I can get a guy who stands there on his laptop and produces all the same shit? Now anybody can do that in your house.
You record, you can just fix it and post it.
I think that there will be room and space for people that can show how we do the process.
There'll be room. Whether there's space, that's an argument.
Yeah, but that's
the thing. But if you can produce AI and you can add 20 fucking remixes of what you created, you're just monopolizing all the space. And you're not going to find the people.
Because the labels are in it for the money. This is a fast food industry now, not a fucking arts industry. We've got more on that.
The record labels are gone.
I know there's another topic.
You took it back to the individual artist, and they're giving it to the tech companies. Yeah. The record labels are gone. That's irrelevant. Been irrelevant for 20 years.
I want to get to the topic. Let me go through the comments. Johnny says CDs forever. We were good, then we went off the rails. It's all good. It's embracing the chaos. It is what it is. I'm just going to try and keep us a little bit moving.
We're being remarkably civil.
We are being pretty good tonight, actually. To be honest, we are doing well. Ben says AI has rabbit rooted my damn Facebook newsfeed for sure. It's everyone's feed.
Yeah, I can't go on Facebook anymore. It's all fucked.
Ben also says, utterly stupid. AI has infiltrated the algorithm. It's indeed taking over Facebook. It's taking over them all. This is why I'm encouraging without, I'm not talking about the money side. Just follow us on Patreon, because that's where we're going to be, I think, a lot more of our time between YouTube and Patreon. That's where we're going to be spending a lot of our time, because the social media algorithms are very painful. And I honestly don't have the time or the effort in me to go chasing the dragon on what's going to work best. I'm just going to put our stuff out, hope for the best. But if you want to keep up to date with us, please do follow our Patreon page, just at the free tier, just to make sure you don't miss anything important. That's the only thing I'll say there on that whole thing. Kevin's here, Trivia King Kevin's. Greeting, kids. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're keeping well over there in the US.
No lyrics tonight, dude.
No trivia tonight.
I can just do some off the cuff.
Rowan says, if you learned to sing the style of AI, you'd only be able to sing Crazy Fingers by the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, in Siri's voice.
Yeah. Vinny says, for the record, my happiest musical memories are attached to traditional methods. I think time will play out. Edge Crusher says, totally agree with all of your thoughts on AI. I'm not a fan. Bash says, this is where those were the days. Music was a beautiful journey, especially when growing up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. It was different. Yeah. For sure. 1964 to 1992. It was a good era. Kevin says, AI is bullshit. Reminds me of the Dio hologram tool. That's another conversation.
Yeah, fuck that.
Michael says, old man yelling at clouds. That's all of us. Usually me getting told.
Happy to be that. No shame.
Ben says, APRA is at least one good organization that seems to work. Yeah. Debatable.
All the clouds are fucking AI now anyway.
Rowan says, that's actually why I'm making Andrew say my password is. Yeah, not doing that, buddy. All right. Next comment. There's a double up here from Darren. I'm going to start with this one first. Got two back to back from Darren here, just in the randomized order of things. The first one is, if you had a time machine, which band would you go back in time to see, and when? I get to go first again because this fucking so much of a randomizer. Who would I go back in time to see, and when? I would probably Dio with Sabbath. What particular era? Maybe the Dehumanizer era. I'd probably go back to that. If I had to pick one, that's one vocalist that I wish I had seen play live. Just because I admire that man's vocal talent like a few others out there. And if you have to pick one, probably that's the one that came to mind first. I'm going to go with Dio with Dehumanizer. That's where I'm going to land, just to make it fucking snappy. Jeff, which one?
I thought about this all in the whole minute or whatever it took you to think about, and I would probably go. I mean, Time Machine. Geez, the Beatles. It'll be great to see the Beatles, but really, I would.
Fuck that! You got girls going. Fuck me.
Yeah, but hey, and then when they get turned down there,
the bald Canadians.
Yeah. But I'd probably go see. I would like to see Ozzy with Rhodes, the original version of Blizzard of Oz, with Bob Daisley and Lee Kerslake on the rhythm section, because that was the Blizzard of Oz, the band, the Blizzard of Oz. That was where all the magic started, and I'm not a big fan of what happened with firing Bob and firing Lee. That was a shit move. Thankfully, we got 2 albums out of them. But I think to see Rhodes, I'm a fan of, like, on Facebook or whatever, the Randy Rhodes fan club and stuff like that. And there's guys in there that, talk about seeing when they were there, they watched the show, and I'm like, that's just a dream. Yeah. Rhodes is, always been my big inspiration for not just guitar, but just music, really.
Yeah.
So to see Rhodes live, and alive, and then yell at him, "Don't get on the plane!"
Oh wow, that got twisted quick. Oh fuck.
So that's what I would do.
Cool. Alrighty, Dave. One band. Give us one.
Fuck one. These questions are hard. I should say Guns N' Roses live at the Ritz, 1988, because oh my god, this is fucking cool. But I'm under the assumption that if we go back in time, we're stuck there, so that we can go forward, so I can get to see all these shows anyway. So fuck it, I'm going back. Like, it could be Aerosmith, because any Aerosmith from the 70s would be cool, even though Steven Tyler passed out and was taken to the hospital half the fucking time. I would love to see Thin Lizzy, by God, in their fucking prime, in any show in the 70s. But I'm going back all the way to 1968 or 69 to see Jimi Hendrix live at the Isle of Wight. Not Woodstock. Right. Yeah. Isle of Wight was a much, much better show. Fuck me, that was so cool. And I can still stick around to see all those other shows because I'm going to get stuck there. The time machine broke down. Just going to have to call, like, definitely going back to the late 60s so I can live the 70s, man.
Nice. Well done. Well played. Rowan, that's why, I already said it. I know. That's all I needed. Thank you for that. Vinny says Queen, hands down. That would be probably my go-to, actually.
Oh, fuck. I'd love to
fully embrace them in their prime. If I was to go back and redo my choice, Queen.
Yes.
Ben says deepfaking Conrad in a Fabio video on spankbang.com is so fucking tempting right now. AI is like Pandora's box, opened, no closing it now.
Wow. Just picture the Fabio saying, yes, it did knock it out of the park.
That would be very, very cool. If you go back and see that, that would be awesome. Kat says, just for Conrad, Thin Lizzy again. Ben says, Randy Sarzo with Randy Rhodes would be so fucking cool. That'd be awesome. But also, Kat says, seriously, Lynyrd Skynyrd, original lineup. That would be special. Ben says Mitch Mitchell, fuck yeah. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Kevin says Van Halen opening for Black Sabbath in 78 would be my pick. So
they put Sabbath off the stage.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones here.
Rob Halford joining Black Sabbath.
Yeah. All right, Dave, you're going first on this one because it's the other one from Darren that was picked. It is, how about the first 5 albums you purchased and the 5 albums that define your musical taste? So just to repeat, how about what are the first 5 albums you bought and the 5 albums that define your musical taste?
You know what? The first 5 albums are part of the first, like, doing this in particular. I made a playlist on Spotify. My first 10 albums is always a reset. My first 5, it's significant to this day. It's on the back of the battle jacket. I put these out here. Obviously that, but then we have Aerosmith, Pump, Skid Row, Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood, and Def Leppard, Hysteria. Those are the first 5 that I bought with my pocket money when I was a little kid, about 8, 9 years old. The other 5 and the 10 are Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, Poison, Open Up and Say Alice Cooper, Trash, AC/DC, Razor's Edge, and Warrant, Dirty Rotten, Filthy Stinking Rich. But those first 5 albums are fucking like they're on the back of the jacket. They mean all this so many years later. The 5 albums that define my musical taste, this was really fucking hard. I thought it'd be easy, but my God, because you've been watching the show for 10 years, you've seen the streams for the last 5 years. I get very passionate about lots of albums, and there's 5 albums that define it. Every fucking band. So obviously, Appetite for Destruction, Nightwish, Once. I could pick Imaginarium, but I'm going with Once. Dream Theater, Scenes from a Memory, Metallica, Master of Puppets. I was so close to picking Load because it shows the transition from when I was young and I hated that fucking album to where I am now. And as that band has grown, so have I. Yep. And James is a fucking amazing lyric writer. Got to pick a band from the 70s. and Thin Lizzy, Black Rose. I could have gone with Jimi Hendrix, Electric Ladyland, but yeah, that's 6. Fuck it, I can't do it in 5.
All right, Jeff, what have you got?
Okay, so the first 5 albums, the best I can remember that I ever actually bought, paid with my money, because I've listened to music forever. Before that, someone else paid for it. Was Bark at the Moon on my birthday. Okay, November 15th, 1983. And then followed that by Shout at the Devil, Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil. That was also in 83. The original self debut from Wasp. Love at First Sting from the Scorpions.
Wow.
And the last one, Defenders of the Faith, Judas Priest.
Nice.
So that were the first 5 albums that I paid for with my own money.
That's
my paper route.
Bunch.
Yeah. So, but of course, having friends, like I told my buddy Sean lived across the road. He introduced me to so much music.
Yeah.
I can remember him telling me, and I kid you not, I remember him telling me, like in a magazine, him going, it was a black and white photo, and he said, "See these guys?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "These guys are going to be big." And I'm like, "Who are they?" It was Metallica.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So,
yeah.
all those bands you listed, your 5 is like a year after my first 5.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that far. And I was backtracking because that was like the early 90s by then.
Yeah. So I couldn't even tell you like my first, whatever I first heard. I mean, it'd be impossible. I have memories of him blasting that Hell's Bells out of his speaker in the window of his mother's house. Hell's Bells. That was like he would have just gotten the album. So 1980, because he's a year older than I am. So he would have been 11 or 12. And him playing that, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
You know what's cool? Yeah. Like all those bands that you mentioned, I just realized that's like early 80s, and it was still so relevant 10 years later.
Yeah.
That's when I discovered it.
Yeah, there you go. Same thing. So
but the expiry date on music back then lasted a fucking lot longer.
I don't. Yeah, I hate the idea of an expiry date on music. I hope there never is. But
there is. It's like a few months these days.
Yeah, it is now. It is now.
Yeah, it really is.
That's the problem. But for us here and everyone probably watching,
aren't you glad to be old, dude?
Yeah, in some ways I am.
Yeah, I am.
And then the music, the 5 albums that like inspired me the most. Is that what the next question was?
Oh, the ones defined
your musical taste.
Defined my musical taste. Okay. Well, yep. A Blizzard of Oz, Dire Madman, right off the bat. My musical taste, probably the first 2 Malmsteen albums, the original, and then Marching Out, and then number 5. That defined my taste, my musical taste. Probably something older. I'm gonna say the Beatles, something from the Beatles, because my mother had all the original albums, and so I grew up listening to them. I stood with the old fucking acoustic guitar. I was about 6 years old, 7 years old, and me standing and it had like 2 strings, and it was just in the closet. And me playing with the only music that was in the house there that wasn't country was the Beatles, and me fucking banging away, and eventually, So that had to inspire me in some way,
Do you know what I find the most bizarre thing? You didn't mention Rush at all.
No. Rush wouldn't be. I mean, I love Rush, but would I say that? I was trying to think from an inspiration as a young person. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew who they were, but I don't think they inspired me like that.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. This is a tough one for me because I didn't get the whole growing up in and around it. I grew up around classical music in a conservative household and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't find the rock and metal world till I was into my teens, well and truly into my teens. I really hit it once I moved out, kind of thing. And so, you go back to early albums that I had, the first sort of 5 albums. They were Bryan Adams, Queen. What else is in there? some Motorhead. And then from there, I started to branch out and go into that. So Rammstein probably come after that, and Metallica at the same time. So those sorts of things are where harder to find, to find what albums, whatever had you. But earliest influences on me were things like Bryan Adams and Queen. Those are the two ones where that's what opened the door. Queen in particular was what opened my eyes to the world of, because that was because I was classically trained to sing when I was a kid, doing a lot of choral stuff. So the vocals of Queen was my gateway into this whole other world once I started to explore. Because of that and a checkered history, there's not a lot of memory or recollection of what happened when kind of thing. So the first 5 albums I bought, I don't really know what they are anymore, to be honest. If I'm going to be brutally honest here, it's just one of those things where life for me wasn't as kind as it could have been, and it just didn't work out for me to just sort of hang on to things like that. When it comes to the ones that define my taste, that's harder to categorize. Like I said, my earliest influences were things like Bryan Adams, Queen, and probably then following on, once I started to explore that, were Rammstein, Metallica, Motorhead. That was where it started to really sort of Rammstein later in the piece, but just one of those ones where that opened my eyes to whole the industrialized world with other things. Actually, I should say 9 Inch Nails probably before Rammstein, to be honest. So I found that one too. So when it comes to what defines my taste, that's hard because it does go quite wide. Queen have to be in there, and you can go the typical albums, but I still gravitate towards albums like Innuendo, because that was a moment in time where that defiance in the face of death, to me, that really hits home for me. Could say the same thing with Motorhead, where it's a later album, but The World Is Yours, because it's got one of my favorite songs of all time from Motorhead in Brotherhood of Man on that one. And that's a different side to what Motorhead and Lemmy in particular was capable of, lyrically speaking, and that's where that sort of stuff echoes to me.
Yeah.
Alice in Chains, Dirt, how the fuck do you not put that in there? Like, that has to be in there for anyone of my vintage. Metallica, I have to put the Black Album. I know that's not everyone's go-to, but just for everyone knows I'm a production nut. Everyone knows I'm a production nut. That to me is still the album I put on. If I want to test my speakers for the first time and make sure I've got everything dialed in right, I'm putting that album on, because that's just one of the best produced pieces of work I've ever heard in my life. I'm going to go beyond the 5 here because I didn't really go into much on the other stuff. So I'm going to sort of use a bit of leeway to go to the other way here. 9 Inch Nails, not Down Spiral, Pretty Hate Machine. That one to me is a seminal album in how it worked out. Rammstein, Sehnsucht is the one that everyone goes to, but I would probably argue more for Mutter these days than Sehnsucht. Sehnsucht was my gateway into that band, but Mutter I think is the better album. AC/DC, Back in Black. You want to talk about production again? Mutt Lang, fucking off you go, like that one, and any Def Leppard thing for that matter as well. Same producer, but Mutt Lang and his work in production, along with Bob Rock, for example, those are the two of the biggest ones. But latter day stuff, Andy Sneap, for example. But I love producers. And going back in a different vibe here, Maiden is another one for me. It's a critical band for me, and Brave New World. When that album came out and the hype around it was landing, and all that kind of stuff. That when Brave New World came out, that I always enjoyed Maiden, but that was the one that got me really into Maiden, if that makes sense. That was the one that you go, hang it, like that. That was a moment for me in time where I was like, okay, cool. But to give you an idea of my cross section, it goes all over the joint. But I will happily listen to things like pipes and drums, classic choral music, like full on, church hymns. I grew up on that stuff. So I will go back to the classics, Mozart, Bach, Beethoven, all those things, and I will love the shit out of that in a heartbeat as well. And I will listen to world music. I listen to a lot of stuff. I don't do dance music. I can't do dance or R&B or rap. I can't do those ones.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
but the other ones, I will happily explore. I'm very much an eclectic beast. I will listen to most things, believe it or not.
Yeah. Especially if it's organic and it's emotional.
Yeah.
That's
exactly. That's it. It has to be real. Blues, jazz, classical, all that shit's fucking cool.
Jody and I watched a video yesterday of Julie Andrews performing a studio versus a live take of The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Music. And to me, I was getting a kick out of that because this guy was comparing her live take to a studio take for the movie and that kind of. I was like going, okay, cool. I'm quizzing because it's a production thing as well. So it was a production cross with vocal thing. I grew up a singer and went to production after learning guitar and teaching guitar as well in the middle of that. So I've got these three things, and this was like a massive cross section for me. So I'm like, okay, because Jodie didn't get the same education that I got, I was asking her if she could hear the same things that he was talking about, because I'm picking him up like that, going bang, bang, bang. It's easy for me. But if you don't grow up around it, you don't hear the same thing. So I was curious as to what she was hearing at the same time. So those things to me, anything that's sort of nitty gritty, like Pink Floyd, I could throw Pink Floyd in this fucking mix too. In particular, Wish You Were Here, that album. That album is a
great fucking album sounding.
And that's again production, but also knowing that if you watch the documentaries on Dave Gilmour, he knows the fucking delay to the millisecond of all the settings. Like he is just a savant when it comes to recording all the shit.
Yeah,
that he's got
all the effects he used was to enhance what he had.
And also
he
when
wasn't
it
a
comes to
fucking
guitar,
slave to it.
his feel. You can have all the blistering work you want, but he has one of the best feels as a lead guitarist
without a doubt. Yeah,
that I've ever heard.
It's his hand. It wasn't his guitar. It wasn't the strings.
He doesn't have the chops like a lot of the newer players have, but he outplays them all. Yeah,
exactly. And if you want someone to make you feel something by playing guitar solo, I'm going to him. Like, that to me,
emotional guitars. Gilmour.
If you
look
at
it,
but I love Dave Gilmour. So. Anyway, I'm waffling now. I've given you fucking 20 things, so I'm going to move on.
Man.
But that to me is it's harder to gauge because I go.
That's the hardest fucking question.
It is.
5 out, just five that define your music.
I know. I could have went on. We all could have.
Sorry, guys. Benjamin says Rudy. Sorry, yeah. Johnny says Led Zeppelin to go back in time for, I believe. Johnny says Rudy Sarso. Randy Sarso. Laugh my ass off. Yeah. Ben says actually it's Rudy Sarso. Get it right. Bond's got to be epic to see again if you go back in time to that. Yes, I agree.
Oh man, imagine those shows.
Vinny says Dave just listed every single album I listened to on rotation verbatim as a teenage. My buddy guy, so no wonder you two.
Yeah, my dude, my brother.
At the risk of causing a squirt fest, Edge Crush says scenes from Memory Dream Theater. There we go. There's one of your all-time albums. Yeah. Vinny says, I must add, though, if you air drummed any Def Leppard song with both hands, you were an asshole of a kid.
If it was pre,
Pyromania,
you're okay. Yeah.
But Edge Crush says, high and dry Def Leppard hymns for the broken Evergrey, Power Slave, Iron Maiden, and Striper Against the Law. Those are some seminal albums as well. Ben says, first LP I ever paid for was the Live Aid, Do They Know It's Christmas Time? Yep. And then the first LP was Aha, Hunting High and Low. Wow. That's going back. Vinny says, Jeff, did I hear you were banging away in the closet as a kid with 2 strings? That's a mental picture right there.
Yeah, I literally was. The guitar was in the closet in my mom and dad's bedroom. Wow. And it was the place
that makes it worse, dude.
No, I know, but it was the place where they basically hid all the presents for Christmas and shit. Mm-hmm. And they had it so that there was like a table in front of the door. So like it was table. Like don't ever go in there. We were told do not go in there. Yeah. And one day I was like, I gotta go in there, and I did, and I found this old beat up acoustic with 2 strings on it, and that changed my life. My life.
No, it is a thing. Yeah, I remember teaching myself all sorts of stuff on the guitar. It's funny here because I laughed. I got ahead of you there. I laughed because Ben said Studio Echo, Junkie Town, which is corrected to being Funky Town, but Junkie Town sounds better, man. I agree.
You take
Junkie Town.
Anyway. For Frank's fucking official song.
No, the Frankston Bop. Anyway, Conrad says first albums I owned. Here we go. Was the year of 86. I was in Bali and bought these albums on cassette. AC/DC, Back in Black, Van Halen 84, Slippery When Wet, Peter Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel.
Wow, here we go.
Interesting. That's sorry, I was just gonna say that. That Peter Gabriel. That's actually Ozzy Osbourne's favorite album, and he loved it because of the production. It was the production.
Wow.
So it's got that hammer and all that stuff. That's the albums. Yeah.
Well, Peter Gabriel. Yeah, he knew what he was getting.
A funny story. Just get on that, because I'm Ozzy nuts. So he loved that album so much, and he would play it on the tour bus. and the fucking band, he would just play it. And the band, like when Ozzy went and take a piss, the band got so sick of it, they'd fucking throw out the window. And Ozzy had like 100 copies of it. So he'd see the fucking thing was missing. He'd crack open a new one and put it on the band, be like, "What the fuck? We just got rid of it."
That's like trolling before it was a thing. That's great.
Yeah,
that's fucking cool. Fantastic. That's awesome. Rowan says, for defining my musical tastes, Queensrÿche, Mindcrime, Dream Theater, Images and Words, Beyond Twilight, The Devil's Hall of Fame, Devin Townsend, Ziltoid, Devin Townsend, no one I could list as well, Lorna Shore, and I Return to Nothingness. So there we go. Bash says, first 5 albums I bought are Rainbow Rising, Zeppelin, Physical Graffiti, Thin Lizzy, Jailbreak, Queen, Night at the Opera, Black Sabbath, We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll. Yes. That's a great collection of albums there. Ben says, we've all been spoilt rotten musically over the years. Truly blessed we are. And there's still plenty more to come. Don't worry about that. Ben says, I'm currently building a guitar, fucking number 31. Wow, man.
Holy
nice.
You are committed. Slipknot fan says to Rowan, Operation Mindcrime is awesome. We have done that one to death over the years on the show.
Yes, we have.
Scorpions, In Trance, and Lizzie, Live and Dangerous, Queen, Live Killers, and Gilmore, Guitar God. Agree with all those things there. Kevin says, to find my taste in 5 albums, Rush, Hemispheres, Corrosion of Conformity, Deliverance, great choices there. Black Sabbath, Master of Reality, Van Halen, Fair Warning, and Clutch, Blast, Tyrant. What a fucking collection that is. That's cool. Vinny says, Gary Moore was very prominent in the 80s as an emotional artist. I agree with that. And Ben says, to be fair, Funky Town is a very cool LP. I don't mind a bit of that stuff as well. There's some fun stuff there. All right, moving on. Next one here. This is going to be one from Michael again. This one says, I drew my name first on this one, which kind of probably might fit. Music production from the 50s to present, how it has developed and transformed, not just equipment, but also producing. What are the pros and the cons? I picked this one out of the pile because it's, production, and that's where I lean into. I think that, like anything else, it's good and bad. Now, I think that the pros are the ease of things. So you got the ability to produce and multi-track and all that kind of stuff, and not have to worry about having fucking mountains and mountains of physical fucking 2-inch tape. I love the sound of 2-inch tape, but in sheer practicality terms, being able to do things on a hard drive and layer it in, and the ease of use when it comes to things like Pro Tools or Logic or whatever other software you want to use, those things have their benefits, and it makes it less of a barrier to get involved. I think that as technology has gone along, we've opened up more doors, which is a good and a bad thing because it allows everyone to do it. I get that. But at the same time, I still think the cream does rise to the top in one way or another. I think the bad thing, though, that we're finding, it's funny I mentioned that Julie Andrews video from yesterday. And that is because what I find is the harm of this now, and it's been touched on by you guys as well, is that people have not lost the respect for it, because I think when people hear it, it still blows their minds, but the capacity to realize how real things like beautiful playing, beautiful vocals truly are. So to get a vocal like Karen Carpenter or Julie Andrews or any of those, people from back in the day, even Janis Joplin, her style of performance, like those things, like those vocal styles, Fleetwood Mac, even things like the Seekers and stuff, you go back to those harmony uses, that kind of stuff there, and the way you only had the vocals and the instruments around it, and what that meant and how that was meant to resonate between the artist and the listener. That pure talent and that ability to work on and refine the talent to make it good. This is one of the things that, going back to modern times, I've mentioned Jeff and I reviewed the Evergrey album the other week on a private stream, and what I like about Tom England is his emotive capacity. He hasn't got the widest range, but he's such an emotive vocalist. And I think there is something missing today with a lot of artists, and we see this because of the Macca's style approach to music production when it comes to things like, because of The Voice, American Idol, all that kind of stuff, what it's done to the industry overall. But when it comes to this sort of stuff, I think we've lost that art, that talent and appreciation, and the work on, like the desire to work at and be the best at, be it a vocalist, a guitarist, a bass player, a drummer, whatever else have you. Like, you don't get John Bonhams anymore. Like, I think that while production has improved out of sight, what the sounds we get are so good now. Like that sonic is so good. So purely audially, it sounds fantastic, and the ability to get there is so much easier. What we've lost because it's so much easier to trick things is the pure talent along the way. And even if you've got it, you won't work as hard at it because now you can just click a button. And I would rather us go back to, that's what I miss about the tape days and being able to splice tape and get the take on tape. Like, that's the one thing that tape made people do, was actually fucking get it right, because you have to go back and you lose. Instead of having 100 tracks of the same thing, you can only have a half dozen. You had to get the best ones. And so you had to be good at your craft. And I miss that side of things. So I think that, yes, it's good in so many ways. What it's cost us, I'm not sure about that. That's my take on production and how it's shifted between the 50s up till now. There's good and bad in everything, and that's my sort of stance where it lands on that. Jeff, over to you.
I agree with everything you say, so you made very good points. I think originally music was you're a singer, here's a microphone, sing.
Yeah,
and that's what went on to the album, was fucking literally being cut as you were singing it, and so then we moved on to tape, which was good. It allowed us to, if we didn't quite like something, you could have it cut out and you could re-put, cut something in, a vocal, new vocal in. Physically. And that was cool. And it worked.
And cutting tape's a pain in the ass. I don't miss that.
I know, but it was cool. But, at the same time, then when we got to the digital era, now, everything is fucking snapped to a grid. Everything is perfect. The drum is we have overproduced shit within an inch of its life. We don't even now need, if you got a laptop with a DAW, whatever that is, you can literally record everything you need, all the drums. You don't need a real person. It can be all programmed.
Yeah.
You've got keyboard fucking, like, you just literally press the fucking an Ableton fucking, I've got one over here.
Ableton Live, key.
You press the thing, boom, and it fucking
you don't need
chords. You don't need 3 or 4 fingers now. You can press one fucking thing and it will do the same thing as before. So the while production has improved, we've gotten so much better at recording and our methods. What we've taken out is the humanity. And this is why, this is why that so many bands now all sound the fucking same. Because they're recorded with the same software and they're using the same plugins, and it's no longer bring your amp into a room and adjust the volume until you get it right, or set your drum kit up with 20 microphones.
And then you
don't do that anymore. They don't even. It's all done with a plugin, and it's just that you see it on the screen. You just make adjustment or whatever, and then snap it to a grid. We don't record things organically, so they sound like people anymore. Everything is perfect, and so we've lost the humanity. And I don't think it's coming back. There's always going to be people that want to do it. Back.
You can't put the genie back in the bottle, man. It's already out there. Let it happen.
Correct. Like those tapes. Like, even going back to tape, there's people that are doing that, right? But there's very few companies out there that are actually still making those tapes. So how once they're gone, or if there's companies that they still charge a fucking fortune to buy those tapes, the 2-inch tapes and stuff, to get that sound, right? There's people that that want it. I really
thing, man.
This is why the album "Wasting Light" by the Foo Fighters, which they recorded, it wasn't done digitally. It was all done in Dave's house, all organically with and that is still one of my favorite albums ever. It's just an amazing fucking album.
It's a great album, that one.
Great album.
After that, it goes to shit, but that's a great album.
Yes, agreed. So after that does go to shit. But look, that album, it just stopped there. Wasting Light, the Foo Fighters, that's everything you need on one album, and it sounds brilliant. And it was all done.
One of the last great to tape produced albums.
Correct.
Yeah.
And there's a documentary about the whole thing. You can watch it, Sound City and all that stuff. But we have lost. We have, in our effort to produce music, we've overproduced it to the point it's quantaged, fucking, everything snapped to a grid. We've just lost our humanity when it comes to music, and I don't know if it's coming back. But that's my take.
No, it's not. Once you get there, it's gone. But I agree with what both of you said. I'm mentioning Dave Grohl, but think of his age demographic of what he appeals to. It's our generation, maybe a little bit younger, but younger generation just don't care because they've grown up with what they've heard. Everything is like snapped to a grid. Everything is auto-tuned. It's what they are conditioned to hear. It's all electronic, and we let it happen. But it's really fucked up because the guy that I work with, once again, Daniel at work, he produces electronic music, and he says that it will never sound as pure, as real as an actual guitar, because when you fret a single note on a guitar, you slow it down on your visualization, on your recording program, the note slowed down will vibrate. It's not just that single
wave itself. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Digital note cannot do that, but they have realized that. And they've produced filters and digital production that will vibrate, it will filter it through, and they will create this to make it more and more real. And once it's out there, it can be produced quicker, cheaper, and easier. It's not going back to what it was.
The race
and we can do that. But if you go back 100 years ago to the 1920s, when recording to a wax cylinder was first invented, that was, you had one take. You had your entire audience, your entire orchestra.
Yeah.
You had to be spot on. If you weren't spot on, you were out of the fucking band. You had to be a really good player.
Like you had to be
because you had one take, and these things were expensive. You had to record to your wax cylinder, and that was it. And that was the thing that was sold. That was your product. But as technology increased in the last 20 years, you miss a note, you can just punch it in. You miss a note now, you can just sharpen it up. You miss a note these days, you can just snap it to grid. You can go through your beat detector program and snap everything. Like you can literally cut, copy, paste any fucking part of your track, and it will fit because you sucked all the life and humanity out, as you guys said.
Yep.
So what's the point? Why put the effort in when every band sounds the fucking same? You mentioned Rick Beato earlier. He did a video on the era of nameless musicians. Because you go back to the 70s, you know the bass and the drummer from Aerosmith. You know the bass and the drummer from fucking Van Halen. You know, like, any of the metalcore bands from the last 10 years. Who's the singer? You don't know these fucking musicians because it's not important. You can just produce the same generic shit, and you can copy-paste fucking one song to the next, or one band to the next fucking band. Because they're all using the same production, they're all using the same filter. So, and you can say that, as the more technological advances, there is a pushback to the real organic. That pushback gets smaller and quicker, and it just keeps producing. We keep advancing with technology, and nobody gives a fuck. We can bitch about all we want, but we bitch about auto-tune, and now you can't produce a popular mainstream song because people they've been conditioned to hear it. You can't produce something that's not snapped to grid because people think, why aren't you playing properly? I'm not playing properly. I'm playing like a fucking person.
But that's the problem.
I'm not going to be snapped to grid.
The perception of real versus perfect. Yeah.
Like,
but they don't know anything else.
No, that's it.
For them, they don't know that it's not real. They think
Rick Bialy did another video where it's like showing you all snap to grid, and it's fucking Hailstorm, it's fucking Audio Slave, it's Soundgarden. And then he goes back to like the 70s with like AC/DC or Led Zeppelin. It's like the chorus speeds up. Because it's natural. That was the feel that they had in the room. But it's not what people want these days. So you can blame production, but it's just after.
I don't blame production. I just blame mass media.
Like the more and more of the shit that gets filtered out there, people become conditioned to hear it this way.
End of the day,
and if you do something real after 10 years of this stuff, after 20 years, it's not acceptable anymore.
Well,
so it's not going to go back.
But the thing
it's not going to go back as far as mainstream media goes. It gets worse and worse and worse. But once again, quicker, cheaper, and easier. Why would you go back?
Cheaper and easier. That's the ruination of music right there.
That's what's fucked everything. Quicker, cheaper, and easier. And we let it happen.
We let it happen. That's right. We were asleep at the post, and
we'll just keep doing what we do and try and keep people aware of good shit as we go through.
Yeah,
things.
as we grow older and older and become dinosaurs,
we'll get older and grumpier, and hopefully we'll take you along for the ride with us, and we'll see how that all works out for everyone here.
I'm a grumpy old man for sure.
No, we're already there. Don't worry. All right, just quickly here. Rowan says, trying to remember the first albums I bought. There will be a Motley Crue in there, and I know some Warren, Sturdy, Rotten, Filthy, Sting, Rich was one. Cool. Michael said my first five. I think my first five were Beatles, Hard Days Night, Elton John, Captain Fantastic, and the Brown Dirt Cowboy, Jimi Hendrix, Electric Lady, and Ladyland. Sorry, Rise, Tattoo, Alice Cooper, Billion, Bullet Babies. Not 100% sure. Cool. Wow. Ben says spliced to sold out. Well, that's where we are digitally. Things there. Michael says Sound City reel to reel done in Dave Grohl's studio on the original soundboard from Sound City Studios.
Darko.
Great.
Brilliant.
Yeah. That was cool.
Michael says realization Dave is obsessed with wax. Good point. He works with it in his free time. All waxing parties now. He's about wax recordings. Take wax away, Dave. Would be screwed.
Yeah, the wax filters.
Michael followed that with save the bees. Dave needs the wax. And Rowan says there's a live performance by Ginger I really like. There was a video on YouTube where a British fellow looked at it closely and found the vocals had been snapped to grid.
Everything's snapped to grid. I can't deal with this shit.
Yeah. And nowadays they can do it live. Like when they're singing, it's all
on
the go.
For a long
That's
time
fucking easy these days.
Yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. So when you sound like, they sound great.
I just set and forget now. Yeah. Ben says we have turned into plastic bag musicians. We haven't, not the average person, but the ones that we see day in, day out on your TV screens and hear on your radio and get pumped.
Young, like some of the younger generation, like my daughter's trying.
But what I hope we see a rise of in the future is the one thing I'm forever grateful for. This is getting into the weeds a bit now. I'll be quick, but I've told you guys this behind the scenes, but one thing I was so grateful when I was learning to perform and stuff was that if you make a mistake, I got taught this. If you make a mistake, make it so big the entire room learns from it, not just you. So I was empowered to fuck up. And that being empowered,
I'd love hearing bands fuck up. I saw I won't say the band. I saw a local band, and everyone was calling out for one particular song from this band, and he's like, "I can't do it. I got a cold. I can't hit that note." And 3 calls away, he's like, "Fuck it, let's do it." Yeah. And they did it. He didn't nail it, but he tried. It wasn't perfect, but fuck, everyone loved it.
If you set the bar, you can do that, and that's where I think that
make it real.
Yeah, my hope in the future is that we empower and enable humanity and mistakes to come back into not just music, but just wider society. I don't know if we'll get there, but it's my hope. It's my great hope that we get there.
I would love to. I'm not optimistic about that. I'm really not.
I understand why.
Yeah, I'm a pessimist on that as well.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, no.
I would hope.
We're too conditioned to accept fake.
Yeah, I know. All right, Ben. Sorry, Michael said, "Snap to Grid." I did on Fairlight MFX in 1990. So not that new, guys. No, Snap to Grid is not new at all.
No, it's not. Neither's All Age Tune. All Age Tune's been around for fucking years.
Yeah, no, they've been around for decades.
But that effect that Cher did, and I believe in '99, that was what really capitalized in mainstream.
That wasn't a crossover. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben says been for a long time.
It's not even cool anymore. That's it. Ben says Dead Kennedys were amazing for me. Well, that's not auto-tune things. Yeah, these technologies we're talking about have only gotten better since, because I was doing my degree in production getting close to 20 years ago now, and I did that late, not out of high school. And in the time since then, what I was able to do back then versus what's available to do now, my God, what a difference it is. So we had all sorts of stuff to play with back in the day. We did play with all those things. It was fun. But it's a different thing now. Anyway, one more topic and then we'll get out of here tonight, I think. Apologies to all our other topics. We will get to those things in due
course. Do you still want me to do a ghost review for the movie?
We should do, shouldn't we? Let's do one more. Do you want to do it now then quickly before we do one more topic?
Do the last topic and then I'll do it before the bin.
Okay, cool. All right.
I'll be quick.
Okay. Last one actually comes from Jeff. He put this one into the chat. So we'll get to this one now. And there's other topics that have been covered, that have been listed. Don't worry, we have got them. We're just going to try and get to them in some way, shape, or form in the future, just not tonight. Obviously, there's only X amount we can do in a few hours. I don't want to make this till fucking 4 in the morning. We all got to work tomorrow.
I don't.
Okay,
You might not, but I do. So
I got the count, dude. I got a fucking stock take.
I know. Good luck with that, Dave. All right. So the final one comes from Jeff here. When a band releases an album, it used to be that they may or may not get initial success. And that success would follow with their second, third, or even fourth album. The label would support them throughout all of it. Now in an era where if you don't become an instant hit overnight with your first release, you are signed, or if you're signed to a label, you're gone. I want to know if this is financially based, i.e. profit-based decisions, or is some other reason? Is it because there is literally a million artists waiting in the wings these days to take your place, whereas years ago, this wasn't the case? Dave, you and I have gone over this before with bands like Kiss, Thin Lizzy, that kind of stuff. So your name came out first. Your thoughts on this premise as put by Jeff?
Yeah, I love this question because even when it was happening 25 years ago, when fucking Napster was coming along, I was 100% behind Lars at the time, and 25 years later, most of the people that comment online are saying Lars was right. You just didn't have the fucking balls to back him up at the time.
Yeah.
Now, I love rock documentaries and artist biographies, and as Andrew mentioned, Kiss, their record company really worked with them for the first 3 albums. Put themselves on the line, personal careers, personal livelihoods, personal mortgages. And they became a success. Thin Lizzy didn't get a successful album until the 6th album. You had record companies that were working with them. Why was that? I saw a documentary about 15 years ago on YouTube called When Albums Ruled the World. Basically, whatever record company, from the biggest fucking thing in the world to the smallest one, you had your guaranteed money makers. You had your big signing draw cards. You had your instant money in the bank. You had the collateral to money in the bank, so you could afford to invest. You could take a chance on a younger band because you had your guaranteed sellers. And in order to do that, if you put your money into any investment, you're going to want to make sure it works. You're going to put the time, effort, and nurture your new talent. You have talent scouts out there, like you had faith in the people you hired. Exactly. Like this band, I believe in this band. Guns N' Roses went through the same thing. Any band on the Sunset Strip. It was really important to dazzle, finagle, fucking work the PR that was going to get you signed. It was important. And once you got there, you had to deliver. You could focus on just being a musician. And the record company that signed you had all the faith in the world they were going to work with you. And when you pulled the rug out from under the record company 25 years ago because you didn't want to pay for music anymore, where's your collateral coming from? You don't have your guaranteed sellers. Even your biggest sellers are going to become independent because they realize we don't need the record company. We don't need to give you 20, 30, 40, 50% of my cut. I can do it all myself. So the record companies getting these guaranteed incomes, they got no guaranteed income. You're not going to take a chance because you can't afford to do it.
The gamble is high.
The talent, it's not that the talent isn't there, it's just that everyone has to do it themselves. So it's a bygone era. We can see all the history of all these bands that had the record companies working with them right up to Nirvana. But these days, you know, if a record company wants to be successful and make some money, there's this thing called click farming. And you can see video of that on YouTube where you can pay a couple of $1,000s and you can have your product go through click farming. You can see it on social media. If you've got high likes, high everything like that, but low engagement is usually because it's been click farmed. Now, if something is click farmed from a big record company, like say that it's Friday tomorrow will be Saturday song that was 20 years ago, that was obviously click farmed because you don't get to 1 million fucking views overnight with coming from nowhere, but because it's at that, it becomes popular. So everyone's going to jump onto it because everybody else is doing it. A younger band can't afford to do that to that quantity. You can get maybe 1,000, but that's the way things work these days. If it's popular, you're going to get instant success, and that's what record companies want, and that's where we're at because you pull. And I don't blame them because it's a business like everything else. You got to have income coming in to take a chance on something younger. So it sucks, but it's the fucking result of the technology that we have in place and what people wanted. So. It is what it is. But I would fucking love record companies to have that power, to have that income to be able to support younger bands. Because, you know, you hear the horror stories when Black Sabbath had them. They got fucked over for years.
Yeah. Motorhead are the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you know, how did all these other massive bands get these successful careers that they have and have become multimillionaires? Because the record companies got their product out there. So there was pros and cons, and
well, they had skin in the game. They had to win, like that.
Yeah,
no other choice.
You know, there wasn't a backup plan for
Yes.
bands like
No.
Judas Priest and Aerosmith and all them. You were a musician, or you were a fucking factory worker, deadbeat, or in jail. There wasn't a fucking backup.
Yep.
But it's shit, but that's the way it is. It's not going to go back to the way it was.
Yeah. Well, Dave started it. Jeff, it was your idea. Your name's coming next. So where are you bouncing on your own
once again, I agree with everything that you said there, Dave. When I think of like a band like that, you know, at a time when record labels were actual labels, they put the investment in the band. They actually spent their own money. It's like, here's $250,000, you know, go record an album. You know, and then, you know, we'll take care of the rest. You just go and record it, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't happen anymore. And then, you know, so there's no more taking a chance like that with money. It just doesn't happen. Technically, there's not even really a record like industry anymore. It's all done now through Spotify and other, you know, outlets that stream. But there are record companies like BMG and all those companies, Sony and stuff like that. And they're the ones that are putting that on the stream service so that, you know, and they're the ones making the money. The artist might only get, you know, 1 cent for every 10,000 clicks. Yeah. And as Dave said, you know, click farming, you know, how do you make a living? You can't. So when, I think we're just going to get even that where they're paying now 1 cent for every 10,000 clicks or likes. That's money that they don't want to spend. They're not going to want to spend that and share that. So they're going to get squeezed out. Artists are going to be squeezed out. It's all going to come back to the fucking AI shit again, where they're going to be the ones putting up the music. They're the ones putting it there on the streaming platform, and the streaming platform and the label or whoever put it there are to be the ones that make it. And that means the artists no longer, they get shit out of it. So they're the gatekeepers. That's right. What we need is a streaming platform that has no fucking AI and it's only for real fucking artists. That's something that.
And if you listen to that song, that person gets your fucking
money. Like
I know it's cost prohibitive, but we need somebody like Richard Branson or something.
Oh, that's the only name I can think of. Literally, I had the same name in my head right then. He's the only one I think would do it.
Yeah, even Elon Musk might. That's something, you know. He you know, theoretically he'll do anything.
Does he even like music?
Yeah. I don't know, but you know, that's what we need, right? We need somebody to challenge that. So yeah. But Richard Branson is well known, you know.
I think Branson would be the one. He had Virgin for ages with the music stores. I think he'd be the only one that has a vested interest in music, or sorry, not vested, but a romantic interest in music that would have the collateral to do it.
Yeah, and having the club, like it's got to be like somebody like him that doesn't mind failing if it does fail, you know. Yeah. And who wants to invest a billion or two and then have it fail? I don't know.
He's the only one I can think of that would actually have the balls to do it these days.
Yeah, that'd be nice. So, Richard, if you're watching, that's what you need to
do. I would love that.
Hey, we got John Paul Jones watching. Why not, Richard?
Yeah, while you're at it, support us on Patreon, Richard. That'd be great.
Elon Musk is watching.
You never know. Yeah, but you know, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we do this because we love it, and whoever watches it loves it. Great, that's fantastic.
Tell your friends.
But if you are somebody famous,
tell your friends,
leave a comment. That, you know, tell everybody your favorite co-host is Dave Jeffrey. Or Bell or
take him for a ride.
Bell will win. You know that.
I hope Bell should win. Yes, definitely. Yeah. But look, that was my question. I put it up there because I thought it genuinely how everything has changed. You know, there's no longer the support, and I think it's just going to get less and less and less. Now we're not seeing any support, but how can it get worse? Well, you still have an artist, and then you take away that artist, and now what's there to support? The whoever puts the song up or the album or whatever. And then where's the money? Yeah, exactly. Where's the money? Like, as I said before, when you've got literally access to every song ever made, ever recorded in the history of music, and you can have it all for $10 a month, how can anybody make music that way? You know, for the cost of one album that you actually work to get, now we have access to literally the history of music as it was recorded.
Yeah.
You can listen to it all. Obviously, there's not enough time, but you have access to it for the same price as one album.
We don't have the time.
No, we don't have the time. No, that's right.
Yeah. So there's a lot to unpack in all that alone. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So look, it's hard not to go off in the weeds because it's such a
trying to keep it concise.
It's difficult not to, but I was more, I had my thoughts and I really wanted to hear your guys' thoughts. So that's why I put that question forward.
It's a good question, dude. I like that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm done. I'm going to hear more from you guys. So,
well, I reckon I can pretty much pinpoint where this went to shit. Personally, I might be wrong, but I have a theory. Where this went wrong, quote unquote, not in terms of profit, but in terms of artist management, was when music labels put themselves on the stock market. Once they floated shares, that's where it went to shit, because that changed from being about the art to being about the money. And once that became the driving force, all that support we're talking about for Thin Lizzy and other bands, Kiss, a plethora back in the 60s and 70s in particular, gone, because now it was about appeasing shareholders, basically paying back debt versus supporting art for art's sake. And that was what the motto used to be for supporting the arts, was arts for art's sake. There was and this is in the context of, if you go back to centuries ago, Michelangelo and that had patrons. That's where terms like Patreon come from. It's because these artists weren't paid to do art to make a living. They were paid or patronized to do things like the frescoes they did because someone believed longer term. But it was usually a rich benefactor, not a public thing. The arts in that context has always been up against it. Then we had these things for a little while, for a brief window in history, a couple of decades, where labels would support the artists and would go through it. Same with authors and publishers and that kind of stuff as well. It's all the same thing. Yeah. Movies, TV shows, studios, all these things mattered. But once it got to the stock market, once it became about the money, that's when all that support went through the floor, because what happened was, coinciding with that was the rise of all these technologies and all these abilities to the gateway to get in was lowered or wider opened, or whatever term you want to put there for it. So it became easier to become a artist of whatever description you want, be it author, musician, actor, whatever the case. And it gets easier and easier as technology progresses. So the barrier to entry was almost eliminated, along with a company that becomes a machine for profit generation, which means that, they will just pick the next person that will come along and generate the next hit. And that's you've seen this now for, a couple of decades, I reckon, with you go back to the first American Idol season. I think, Kelly Clarkson won #1. Is that right? I could be wrong.
Yeah. Or what, Guy Sebastian or whatever the fuck it was.
That's Australian Idol and that. But or The Voice or whatever show you want. But all these talent shows popped up in the 90s to 2000s and stuff to
brain dead shit.
Shows you how, not even that, but it shows you just how easy it is to produce, consume, expire. Like that whole rhythm and routine.
It comes and it goes so fucking quick.
We had Casey Donovan was a great case in point on the Australian scene, where she won Australian Idol or whatever the case was, or Australia's Got Talent, one of those shows. But her family and that were buying CDs, mortgaging the house to buy the CDs to keep her afloat, to the point where it became a house of cards. The whole thing fucking fell apart.
Yeah.
So
but now you just click farm it rather than buy the CDs.
It's so driven by profit because of things like the stock market. If your shares aren't going up, then someone's losing money, and then it goes to shit. Once it became money over art, that was the death knell for all of it. I think that in the future, and where this comes into today, is where things like we've discussed in the past, massive articles about, Queen haven't done it yet, but there's talks apparently about them selling their library, their catalog, everything, their IP, the whole lot to someone who, for a record-setting amount. It's possible. Now, these things are going to be what the next commodity is. And so these big labels like Sony that are involved in those talks, apparently, all those things, the ones that the haves, not the have-nots, the haves will have the access and the funds to buy those things because they can leverage those things for future money. The ones that own the Beatle catalogs and all that sort of stuff like that, those things, they will be
Motley has sold their catalog.
Yeah, maybe they saw the writing on the wall as well, like especially the Queen one. If they're thinking, fucking 5 years time, AI is going to be producing our music. Freddie's going to be singing new songs again. Fuck, let's get this money while we can, people.
While you can. I don't blame them for that.
Jump out. Yeah. They got what, 15, 20 years left of their life. Set their kids up. Why not?
Yes, exactly. To the point, because otherwise it may eventually become worthless.
Anyone doing that, you can't blame that. You can't hate the player. You just got to hate the game.
Exactly.
And
it's the way it's going. And once again, we let it happen.
Yeah, and this is where I think it's gone wrong, and that's why I think we don't see that same support we used to see anymore. And that's why it's gotten faster and faster because everything moves faster as the decades go on. And that's why you see things like those television shows. And Jeff, you had that thing in Discord earlier today about that kid playing the guitar. I didn't watch the video, but it's the same thing. We all gravitate toward these things, but at the same time, it's just chew them up, spit them out, move on to the next one because that's how we're conditioned. Not us, but other people are conditioned to consume and move on. That's why you don't see things like TV shows progress to their conclusion of the story. You don't see... Unless authors go independent, they rarely finish a series of books these days unless they're exceptionally well connected. That's where the only antidote to this is to be building a connected, engaged fan base, which is easier said than done. Again, going back to the AI algorithm, really fucking with things at the moment as well. So there's a whole flux. The next 5 years are going to be really wild.
Really telling.
Yeah, I think the next 5 to 10 years are going to really define the future of art.
Bitch about all you want, but
music, but
the art. Out of the bottle.
They're defining now. So this is the moment where you want to put a flag in the ground and support the arts. Now it's time to do it.
Somebody, STEM, what is it? Science, technology, science, technology, STEM. What is it? STEM. Science, technology, something, and mathematics. What is it?
STEM. Science, technology, education.
And mathematics, is it?
Oh,
mathematics. I don't know what the EA is.
I can't remember, but I watched somebody recently, and he said that they want to change that. They want to change it from STEM to STEAM. They want the A in there for arts because arts is so important.
Yeah. I agree. That's the whole point. Dave, you've been here with me, but we've been battling the fucking government for years about community television.
Yeah.
Since 2014, I've been fucking busting my
ass. It's almost 10 years.
And to me, the arts are critical.
Melbourne and Adelaide, out of all Australia, are the only stations that have community.
Yeah. And this is just a microcosm, a symptom of the wider disease when it comes to this stuff. But just like the arts, yes, the A should be there. Arts are critically important. And until we get to a point where we actually recognize that as a society and governments should lead the way, we're going to really be up against it. For
you see those memes on social media. Imagine your life without music or without movies or without theater or whatever. Whatever gets you to get up the next fucking morning.
In my opinion, people can disagree. In my opinion, music has been around longer than religion.
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
You think about the way we communicate and the way people gather and share experiences.
It's a universal language, man. Everyone can, like we went back to Jane's question at the start of the program. Do you listen to songs in different languages? Do you need to know the actual words? You just hear the emotion in the words.
Yeah. And the most recent case in point for us is when we listened to 2 from Alien Weaponry, we all got fucking moved because of the context without understanding a lyric.
Yes.
We all felt it.
Exactly.
That's the power of music there. Yeah.
And it was fucking real. It was real. There wasn't any auto-tune. There wasn't any snapping bridge.
In tangible form. And the more we get
young guys, the one even now they're fucking teens. They were just creating real fucking music.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a long way of getting to a point, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Hopefully we got there. We did.
Did it help you?
Yes, because I put it out there genuinely wanting to know how you guys felt. I had my own ideas, but I wanted to know how you guys, and of course the audience. So
Well, I'm going to move to that now. What have I got here? All right, Vinny says, unfortunately, at the moment, technology has surpassed humanity. Unsure if the needle will shift unless there's a major digital catastrophic event like Skynet or something. Well, time will tell one way or another.
I would love that to happen. I'll just grab my acoustic guitar, grab a beer, jump out on the back porch, and watch society go to hell. No more techno, motherfucker.
I'm in the better place than that for you are. Anyway, Ben says, embrace the fuckery that is Dead Kennedys is beautiful chaos. They are a great band. Rowan says, if there's any fix to this in the future, it's probably going to be that it becomes cool to snap to a real sounding rather than have people actually sing for real. And I probably agree.
I keep hearing that argument from a lot of people discussing this. Like, I can't see it happening.
We'll see. I think that people will.
I would love it to. I really want it to.
But I personally hope and feel that people still want that. We talked a second ago about emotive context and weight and connection when it comes to music. I think it will still gravitate toward that.
It's a novelty.
As much as we don't talk about Taylor Swift, there's a reason why she connects with so many people at the same time.
Because she's genuinely real. She's a musician.
Yeah. She's a musician.
Yeah, which is why Dave Grohl copped so much shit because he said that she was backing tracked.
Yeah, but they all are, man. Fucking serious. So what are we talking about?
Well, what fucking big live production doesn't have some form of backing track these days?
Yeah, what are we talking about? Like that's such a small thing. And for him to go that path, I thought was a bit of, I don't care, but it's like
maybe the Foo Fighters.
It's unusual because he's usually been supportive of all types of his. He was having a joke, to be honest. He was having a joke.
But it was
but the Swifties can't take a joke. They get triggered.
Well, there's no such thing as bad publicity. So.
But at the same time,
don't fuck with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, but at the same time, he should know better as well. Like
he was joking. Come on.
I get that. But
all of a sudden, he's become an old man.
Oh, we're all old. What are we talking about?
He's older than me.
We're all ancient. Who gives a shit?
He could have a joke. You can't have a joke anymore.
I agree, but I know I'm not taking sides, but my point originally was that there's a reason why artists like her still resonate with so many people at the same time across the world, because there is that connection still, and I think that will still happen.
Yes,
it's not to the same way we used to see.
I think as far as modern crap goes, she's not terrible, but
credit where
30, 40 years ago, crap was
you have to like her stuff, but you can't say she's not talented.
Yeah, I'll give her that.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Anyway,
she performed with Def Leppard, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
It's not that way.
Anyway, I've started
the hard Taylor Swift show.
Yeah, no, let's not, because that's a fucking not a conversation I want to have. Anyway, Ben says I'm up a Hawk tour for the fucking bin this week. Well, you can put it in the bin, or you're like, ooh, and my old toilet seat belongs in the bin. I bought a new blue see-through Perspex toilet seat with seashells embedded inside it. It's ace. Why are you looking through the toilet seat while you're taking your shit? Is the only question.
That's the weirdest position, dude.
Reverse Kanga. I'm a big fan of farts for farts' sake. Engineering from Rowan. Ben says cooking shows, dancing shows, singing shows, talent shows, fishing shows, hunting shows, Lego building shows, ninja obstacle course shows, fitness shows, makeup and costume shows in the fucking bin, yo.
Any show that you vote on, fuck that shit.
Yeah. Well, then there's us who do the same thing, voting, getting people to fucking pick things week on week. Anyway,
not that time. We don't vote a panel member off.
There's
maybe we should.
There's a bit of irony in there, but anyway, Ben says Kardashians in the bin. Yes, fuck yeah. And Bash says these were great questions and answers. We're nearly there. Dave, we got to throw to you because you went and saw a special movie.
I did. Okay, fuck. Okay, quickly, Ghost. I've become a massively obsessive Ghost fan. A quick little history. I knew of Ghost for the last 10 whatever years that they were around. I wasn't particularly sold on them, but like Kiss and Pink Floyd, I wasn't particularly sold on them to start with, and I am massive fans of both of them. Yeah. We did the prequel album a few years ago as a review. I was halfway there, and then the newest album, which I fucking love, Little Sunshine, I became a massive fan because I finally got it. Yeah. So I didn't go see it earlier this year.
I've been championing that band for years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you've seen this fucking transition. I fucking
flip side for you.
Holy fucking shit! Like my Ghost capacity has gone way out. Yeah. I didn't go see them. Jeff went to see them earlier. So like the movie, I'm like, okay, movies come out. It's going to be like Through the Never. There's like a storyline. I didn't really know what I was going to be in. So all leading up to the week, I'm just like, yeah, maybe, yeah, nah. I got bills. I got fucking my kids need stuff. Saturday, it's like 4 o'clock. The show starts at 7 o'clock. I'm looking at it, and Julia's like, just go. You've been in the funk all day. Go have some fun. I'm like, yeah, we need to do this. Just fucking go. Like, okay, fuck
Julia,
it. Bang.
MVP Julia.
Thank you, Julia.
Bought the ticket. I'm like, okay, eat quickly. Get to the movies. I haven't been in the fucking movies in ages. I love cinema. I'm a movie nerd.
You are
okay.
You were that first before this, I think, in a lot of respects.
I love music. I love movies. I love drama. I love stories. So this hits me in every fucking sweet spot possible.
Nice.
So the premise of the movie, for the Ghost fans, I'm going to try and do this without spoilers. So Carneal Copia, who became Papa Emeritus IV, knows that his time is running out. So he knows he's going to be killed off by the clergy coming up. This is the premise of the movie. He's been around for 2 albums. It's the longest that any frontman of Ghost has been. It's the longest yet. Now, if you look at the poster of this movie, you got the clergy emblem pointing at 5 on the clock.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the premise of the movie.
Yep.
So it starts off with just like, is it his time? He thinks it's ridiculous because he's the youngest performer that they've had yet. He doesn't want to move on. So throughout the movie, they filmed the concert at Los Angeles last year. So every time he goes off to change costumes, they're filming like stuff for the movie, which is where your narrative, your dramatic outcome is. So Papa Nile, who is like the Ghost frontman from 1969, who did Mary on the Cross and Kiss the Go-Go, he's dead now. If you watch the YouTube videos leading into this movie, those two are and what's his mum's name? Imperator. So they're his illegitimate parents. So they're trying to convince him that it's time to move on. He doesn't want to. So this is where you get your dramatic part of the movie.
Yep.
And so throughout the movie, every time he's changing costumes, they're trying to convince him. Now, his dad, who there's not a good father-son relationship happening here, is trying to convince him that at the end of the show, you have to give the crucifix pose. So you can tell your audience, your fans, you've given all that you can give and you have nothing more to give. So moving through the movie, for each song, it gets more and more dramatic as, is this what he's going to do? You have the whole, will he or won't he? This is your fucking Rocky moment. You're punch drunk. You're giving your last moment.
Yeah.
Are you going to do what's expected? Now, I'm not going to give away what happens. I can't because this band's so fucking clever. They're using social media every time they've changed frontman. There's somebody in the audience filming it and putting it onto YouTube. You don't need to professionally do this.
They've worked this out.
You've capitalized this with your fans, and you've made this whole narrative, your Ghost mystique happening, and you're doing that. So that's all set. Now, I didn't know about these YouTube videos until after I saw this movie. So I went back and watched all them. So it happened in the last 5-6 years. So I'm really doing a lot of catching up with the whole mystique and the lore around Ghost. Now, as far as live performances go, this is their fucking live after death. So I've gone back to hear, it's their fucking live after death because they are so much better live. All the older songs are so fucking heavy, my God. But then they also have the pop element. They've got their pop element as well. This appeals to so many. This little Swedish band, it was a doom band. They've gone on to be a massively successful, accessible rock band.
It's funny. We had that question earlier about what song would you play to someone else, like from Jay. What song would you play to someone else? Ghost. That Be With You in the Moonlight, that song.
Dance Macabre.
Dance Macabre, that one.
I've learned to play that in the last 3 days. I fucking adore that song. It's so good. It's so catchy, and it's dark because of the twist in the lyrics. This band basically sells songs to a mainstream audience about having sex with Satan, and you've made it cool and accessible. How do you do that? It's so fucking clever. There is so much in the songs, in the mythology that they've put around it. It's fucking brilliant. There's all these little tiny things. Like, was this planned from 5 years ago when you brought into this stage show? Now, there's a part where they do If You Have Ghost, which is one of their earlier songs. They do it with the violin and the symphony. And and he's up on stage and he's just like, who's having a good time? And just like, we don't always have this in our life. Sometimes it's bad. And moments like this, we have to embrace because the rest of it is crap. That's the roller coaster of life. And this is a mock satanic priest. And I have more truth, more connection, more fucking. There's a dude on stage in front of fucking millions of people in this massive stage. And dude, this is exactly my mindset. And I left the cinema happier than I've ever left the cinema. I've left it.
Wow.
I'm a massive Ghost fan. This brought together everything I love about entertainment, music, live performances, filmmaking, drama, storytelling. It was fucking perfect. There is not a better word in the English language to describe this movie. It's fucking perfect.
Wow.
Because everything would have been filmed. Exactly.
Yes.
Everything would have been filmed in this live performance, and then he cut in everything backstage to and what he did that encapsulated and made it more captivating with what's actually happening on stage in the ghost mythology. And like once again, it's the Rocky moment. Will he or won't he? I'm not going to say what happens, but go on, Jeff. Jeff, you got a question?
I just have a question. Yeah, how long is it? Is it over an hour?
It's 2 hours 20 minutes.
Oh wow!
Show went for about 2 hours.
Cool.
The stuff they cut in, and there's a bit at the end. There's a bit at the start, which gives the 20 minutes. I don't want to fuck it up for everybody else, but couple little things. During the 20s, which is my favorite song from the album. This is the tour debut. They never played the song before. It's the last. Wow. Yeah, I checked it out on Setlist FM. They never played it before. Now, at the start of this, he comes out and there's people in skeleton leotards dancing. I'm like, fuck yeah, Alice Cooper reference right there. That's right from Welcome to My Nightmare. 30 seconds into this show, I do not say this lightly, pass the torch, Ghost did it better.
Wow. From you.
Ghost
I've said that a lot tonight, but fuck me, that from you. Alice Cooper is like your...
Yeah, Ghost do it fucking better. And you know what? I would have loved to have seen Ghost and Alice Cooper tour together. But at this stage, I think Alice Cooper needs Ghost more than Ghost need Alice Cooper.
Fuck, that's massive from you.
Yeah, because my God, that was fucking insane. And like in the cinema, there was when that song finished, there was a collective wow from the people in the cinema. Because that was fucking insane what they did with that song. I love that song. Oh my God, that was so fucking cool. Because they didn't just hire dancers, they were contortionists. And it was all really weird, creepy. It was fucking... And Papa Emeritus IV, Tobias Forge, is up there dancing and everything. He's up there and he's just fucking nailing this thing. And like...
That could be the next Cirque du Soleil, fucking Ghost.
Yeah, it's like that.
Honestly, that might be where it goes.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then this is where it gets weird because I'm having this thinking that he's such a... Like, everything he's planned, he's such an artist. Like, is there an actual end game? Could he call it in a few years' time, at the peak of his fucking career, at the peak of his talents? It's like, that's it, I'm done. And he just kills off the character completely.
I do know that he said in an interview that every album, like when he writes an album and puts it out, he already knows the entire theme for the next album.
Yeah.
So he already knows. He's known it, and he's probably working on it now.
To the point where I can't remember the song, but it's from Prequel. And the song translates into ghostly vapor or spirit. It's unpleasant. So when they play that, it's got the saxophone solo in it, which is performed by Papa Nile.
Miasma.
Okay. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. So during the show, he gets zapped. So he comes back to life on stage and he plays the saxophone. It's his dad. He's talking to his dad backstage, and as that happens, he gets zapped back. So the spirit goes, then he dies and he comes back. But that word means unpleasant spirit, and his dad's a spirit now. So was that fucking planned for this back then, 5 years ago?
No doubt. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was.
So there's an end game.
I reckon in the music world, for those watching TV sci-fi shows, Tobias Forge is like the TV equivalent of J. Michael Straczynski from Babylon 5.
Yeah. Everything he's got fucking planned out. Now, There's the new song that came out 2 weeks ago. It's adding the credits in the movie.
That's a cool song. Yeah,
that's a cool song. Okay, just 6 Degrees of Satanic Panic, the EP that came out a few years ago. I just caught up with this. That's from Papa Nile, apparently back in 1969, with Kiss the Go-Go and Bury on the Cross, which is Tobias Forge's, or Papa Emeritus's fourth, his dad. And then they disappeared. He comes back on stage and takes over. Now, when Papa Emeritus number 4 is going to the back of the stadium to do If You Have Ghost, he's in the road case talking to his spirit dead dad, and he's basically saying, "You need to pass on everything." And fucking, he's like, "Well, what have you done? I'm the youngest. I have all this audience. What have you done? You recorded 2 songs." He's just like, "No, 3 songs." It's like, well, what's 3? No, they're doing this whole thing. We'll get to this in a minute. It's like, no, the new song is the 3rd song.
Wow.
From Papa Emeritus the 3rd, because he says in 15 years from now, in 1984, that's part of the lyric. That takes it back to 1969. Then it says in 55 years from now, in 2024, and then it goes on. Let's check out the lyrics. So that's the 3rd song. And the other cool thing is those 2 goes through are tuned down a step to D. Those songs are in E flat, so they're slightly different.
Okay.
The new song is the same, so they're doing different key.
I would imagine they're doing something with the Holy Spirit, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. 3 songs.
Exactly, because it goes back to that whole we are Beelzebub, and it goes back to that early stuff. But I think because during the credits, you got all these terrorists and all these tragic events that have happened throughout time. I think that's leading into the next album. Now, that whole 3-2 thing, there's a thing there that leads into the next incarnation, because what happened, I'm trying to hint. Now, if you really want to know, jump on Tobias Forge's Wikipedia page, check out his history, the type of kids he has references where the next Papa might be coming from.
Okay,
Okay, it's really fucking clever, because there's only so much you can do with face paint and makeup and prosthetics. Okay, and if you check out those YouTube videos, but it's once again, that whole will he or won't he? There's a twist.
Wow.
It's fucking brilliant. So
I gotta check this out. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay,
there's nowhere to see it up here. That's the fucking problem. It was like
if you want to drive to Northland, there was one screening this Saturday afternoon, an advanced screening in Northland.
I love it, but I'm not going to drive a couple of thousand Ks.
No, you're not going to drive 2 fucking states. But my God, once again, it hits me in every fucking happy space, like music, live performances, drama, filmmaking. As far Michael on the Discord chat mentioned that the audio changes from song to song, the video, the visual, the lighting, and the editing style changes from song to song to keep it interesting. So it's fucking brilliant. And once again, I left the cinema happy and a much bigger Ghost fan. So my God, it was fucking. And one little last point, in North America, in the 4 days that this, or 2 to 4 days that screened, this is the highest grossing concert film ever in North America.
Fuck me.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
In one weekend. So,
Tell me now, that doesn't give you hope, though, for the future. That's got to give you hope for the future.
Exactly. But, Tobias Forge,
tonight, a lot of the conversation, a lot of the topics tonight have been fucking...
I know. This makes me happy. But looking up, I'm reading up a lot on this band. Tobias is 1 year younger than me. He's from our generation. If he can inspire, and he has, obviously, but this gets fucking 10 out of 10, 100%. It gets a fucking shot. And as he says in the live concert, it gets that special feeling right in the taint. He's like, who's having a good time? Who's feeling it tonight? Where are you feeling it? Right in the taint. You get the whole audience say, right in my taint.
Fuck yes.
It's so fucking good.
That's awesome, man. That's a fucking great review too, by the way. That was fucking
good job.
Cool. I'm
Keeping
pretty
it
sure
spoiler-free is important.
Fuck. The only thing I think they fucked up is that the CD doesn't come out for another 4 weeks. Like late July. Like, I want to buy this
That's
motherfucker
understandable,
now.
yeah,
I'm
you
like,
do want the
there's
talking
this
the weekend after
playlist
or the
on
weekend of.
Spotify. I made my own of the set
Yeah.
list, but live, my God, this band live is fucking insane.
Having seen them live, man, they are a special band. Like,
Yeah.
they are.
Like, just getting right on stage with this camera work. My God, I don't even want to spoil. Like, the last song, well, like I said, leading into that, will he or won't he?
Yeah.
That performance, holy shit! And the camera work really encapsulated that.
Cool. All right, well, there you go, folks. 10 out of 10 from Dave. That doesn't happen very often at all. So, fuck me, 10 shots. There we go. Well done, man. Good one. All right, final comments in the bin, and we get out of here before 1 o'clock in the morning, hopefully. Well, yeah, Basher says these were great questions and answers. I'm glad you had fun with this tonight. This is a different format, different feel, different everything tonight. We will do this again. Don't worry, but we're just experimenting with a different format. We're going to do this probably every 8 weeks thereabouts. That's how it's going to play out in due course over time as things move on. Loose asshole. I remember you from last time around. Sup, fellas? Just ordered 5 addies and now I'm ready to fuck. Well, go enjoy that, buddy. Hope you have a great night. Vinny says, my bin is dreaming that I farted in the prison shower, and the voice in the other end replied, that's about my size. Okay, Vinny, what the fuck, man? Where? What? How?
Where
who?
did you get them? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, you are
You
one
might
of the
be better off we don't.
Yeah.
on our side, but
Do
you're
you
one of
want
the
to message a loose asshole?
Possibly. Ben says her plastic surgeon belongs in the bin. Whose? What now? Okay. Rowan says Whoopi is the real star of this film. Okay. Dave, does that make sense to you?
No.
No? Okay, cool.
Not at all.
Oh, Ghost. Haha.
Okay, yes, right. Thank you. I'm a good leader of
I actually made a joke about that. Remember?
You did in the chat, in the Discord chat. Yeah.
That meme I found was fucking cool. Papa giving it to me more.
Okay, Rowan, we get it now. I'm sorry, I'm a bit slow on the uptake. It's 12:40 in the morning and about a liter of port in. So yes, my apologies, but no, well done, well played, good sir.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael says we went to Right Here Right Now Saturday night with for me noticed the mix very LCR, I don't know, with reverb sounds at the start. As we progressed, imaging opened up and spread into surround sound a lot more. Think design that way. Yes, a project like that. I haven't seen it, but knowing how you play with stereo versus 5.1 and beyond.
Yeah,
Ghost.
They kept the dynamic throughout. They kept changing.
Ghost would shift sonics as well as
lighting, camera work, audio, everything,
complete,
camera work.
All sort of 4 or 5 facets would be being played with at the same time. Vinny says, I bought tickets but had to refund them due to moving this past weekend. I'm still keen to see Ghosts at the cinema. Were people dressed up? There's a question for you. Were people dressed up?
No one in mind, but yeah, there was like your average metalhead fans. But at the start, it was weird because when the lights go down, the movie starts, they had this dude that's from the web series, and he says, I want you to take your camera out. You got 3 minutes till showtime. Film anything. Film yourself. Film the people around you. Film the screen. Anything. So, and then upload. The QR code came up on screen.
And
you can upload. Yeah. So you get like 3 minutes of just doing anything in the cinema. Nobody did it. I didn't want to be the only asshole out with my film. There's one clip on YouTube that I found of somebody just filming the screen. So if you want to see it, jump on YouTube and film.
Okay,
and,
that's cool.
Yeah. So it was a cool little thing of building a community. And I'd love to. I would. There's a hashtag. I'll do it one time and just seeing what people did in the cinema leading into this.
Cool. No, I like more of that. Is going to be what is the antidote to a lot of things we're talking about tonight. Like,
and once again, you can't do the ghost law without relying on social media to do the work for you.
And that's where it's using it smartly is important.
Yeah.
In
just going to say, in the industry that I'm in, electronics, internet and all that stuff, there's a thing called quishing, and that is where people are clicking on fucking QR codes and they think it's for something and it's for something else. It gets on your fucking phone, and next thing you know, somebody's taking all the money out of your bank account. So just be wary. Do not click on
beware.
unless you know exactly
Yeah, be very careful online, people.
Yeah.
Roland,
You know what happened is that people. Here's what's happening. You see these QR codes on fucking. They put them in like windows of shop fronts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So somebody comes along.
Code.
Somebody comes along and they cut out a fucking square of a QR code. They put it on that fucking on top of the thing,
That's
and you don't know.
Tanks.
Yeah.
And you click on it, thinking you're going somewhere else, and you're actually getting fucked. So just be mindful.
Yeah. But these days you can just walk past
PSA
somebody
from
and have your
Jeff,
have your details scanned. That's why people put their cards and everything in the
middle. I don't
middle.
want to see it happen to anybody, but you know it does. So that's my personal PSA from Jeff. So remember that. People.
Yeah, good idea.
That's why I'm glad I live in nowhere. I live in the middle of nowhere, and it's a good thing. All right. Michael says, I was worried for the first couple of songs. It was not sounding like I wanted it to, but I think that was by design. There were, I don't know, but knowing the band and the way they do things, there are subliminal intentional acts, if that makes sense.
It leads you in. It draws you in.
Yeah. Rowan says, it's been a while since I watched Ghost, but this sounds like Sister Act. Whoopi is the real star of that film. Here we go. Michael says, can't find the budget for this online anywhere, which is frustrating. Does anyone know? I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
The majority would have been filmed live last year at the Kia Forum. I was wondering if they filmed extra stuff without the audience, because the camera work, there's a lot of quick cutting. There's a lot of different setups. I didn't see a single camera in any shot.
You'd be surprised. I don't know. You can be creative in that regard as well. It's AI talk.
I mean, cameras are a lot smaller these days, so it's really hard to see.
Yeah,
it's not the massive cranes anymore like that. It's not stuff. It's
that was the last show. So they went from like Los Angeles, then they came out to Australia and finished the tour.
Yeah. You know, that was actually interesting, because they claim that like that was the end of the tour, but Australia was actually the end. There's a video on YouTube explaining the law. And in Brisbane, he actually comes out and says, you know, at the end of the tour, everyone's expecting something big to happen, but you know, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not. It's not going to happen. So I'm not going to get with God. Like, there's video recording out there. It's just like, I'm going to stick some ice down my pants. It's not like I piss myself, but it's just to distract you. It's a funny fucker he is.
Yeah, no, Tobias is good. All right, Jolie's here. Hi, I'm home. Yeah, just send my love, everyone. Time to eat hard. Good. Hopefully you had a good night and you get to wind down as night works on for you. Ben says Dave's fizzing at the bungs. There we go. So excitable. That's Dave.
That's me.
Roland says next pup the cast of The View. That's my guess. Whoopi is the real star there. Last one, promise. Yeah, we'll see.
Whoopi.
You'd be good on The View.
She should marry Peter Cushing.
Oh my God, here we go. Fucking hell, Dave. Michael says Jolie's good on. Says tell Dave she loved the film too. So there we go.
Go.
Basher says
need a DVD.
We go. And Michael says people were not dressed up, and we laughed as lots of younger fans were getting up, walking out and back. They couldn't sit for 2 hours, 25 minutes in one hit. Wow, that's
weak. Go to an Avalanche concert, bitches. That went for 3 hours and 20 minutes, and I could have done another hour.
I know. You are harder than all of us, Dave. We bow to your fucking.
You want to see?
No. We're not doing that either. All right, let's do this.
Welcome to the Hard Cock Show.
Hey, dude, how many times do you get up in the middle of the stream and go for a piss? Have you ever seen me do it? No, I hold it to the end.
I'm usually grabbing more drinks, dude.
Yeah.
Twice tonight because I have my drinks with me.
Andrew, you don't see very often get up either. No,
I can't, man.
I drink more than both of you.
I'm anchored. I'm anchored to this fucking thing. Vinny says, imagine if Patrick Swayze was resurrected on stage. That would be a neat trick.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
No, nobody does. All right, time to do this. Let's get out of here. We've done this. It's late. We knew this was gonna be a long one tonight, and I'm glad that so many of you stuck with us for so long.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whether you're catching up later on or you're joining us tonight, thank you so much, because this different format, different style, different everything tonight. We're gonna expand and play on this as time goes on. This is the first of many of this style episode to come. So we're going to break things up between sort of King of the Riff seasons just to make things a bit more interesting and give us a bit of a mental detox as well. Like, follow, subscribe, all the usual shit. What have I got here? I got to go to this banner that I've set up before. Follow us. That one.
Ooh, there we go.
Tickets at the bottom of the screen. I've had a few of those up tonight, but make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all the usual stuff. Please check out our Patreon page. It's even if you just do the free tier, I don't care what monetary value, just follow that, because I'm going to be investing a lot more time in that and YouTube versus the other platforms, just because of it's just easier for me. So if you want to be involved more directly, the three things to do are Patreon, YouTube, and Discord. Those are the three things.
Yep,
that's where you'll find us most easily. The other platforms are there. I'm not going to get rid of anything at all. I'm not going to stop doing anything, but it's a case of where I have to just devote a focus. There's only so much energy to go around, and that's where it has to be at the moment. Now, like I said, like, follow, subscribe, details for us in the description box, all the usual shit, and just follow us on your preferred platform at, the Hard Rock Show. It's pretty easy to find us. Yeah. If you want to support us, I'm going to change ticking out the bottom to the Patreon page. We're going to take a couple of weeks off now. We always take a mid-year break. It's about that time now where we've just wrapped up the season of King of the Riff and take a couple of weeks off. Belle, we love you to bits. Unfortunately, you couldn't be here tonight, but we missed you, and hopefully everything is going well with the house. Conrad, I know you're watching. Hopefully you're still watching. Dude. Love you. Well, hopefully you're having a good time over there in the UK as well, and everything's going well for you. I'm glad you've been on an upward trend of late versus the trend before these things ticked on. And to you too, to Dave and Jeff, fucking warriors, the pair of you, hanging around for this long in the night, and it's been a lot of fun, this format. We will do this again. Don't worry. It's not the only time it's going to happen, but it's one of those things.
And we'll bring Jade back more, because
Jade was phenomenal, and love to Julia and Rory as well, for that matter. Jody, as always, says hello to everyone. Make sure you're all looking after yourselves. Now, just for the next couple of weeks, this is where it's going to be. I'm going to try. I can't promise. I'm going to try and set this up. So you will still get Thursday night showings from us online. It won't be the same thing as this, but it's going to be something different, something that hasn't been seen before. Basically, Jeff and I have filmed reviews for Audio Rain and Cicada Stone's album. Dave, you contributed to the Audio Rain review as well. We've also interviewed both of those bands. So what my plan is for the next 2 weeks on Thursday, so you're still going to get something out of us on the time slot, is that you will see basically the review and the interview for that hour and a half, whatever it takes to do it, on those Thursday night sessions. So you're going to have Audio Rain first, Cicada Stone second, and that's how it's going to be for the couple of weeks we're going to take off here for a bit of a break. There's still plenty going on. If you're on Patreon, you're going to get other stuff beyond this. Like, I think Sunday, Jeff, for you and I in particular, it's probably going to be more TV stuff than anything else, just to get some things in the can for me to get editing, because I got a trip to Melbourne to plan as well. But yeah, I've just changed the ticker as well to contact us. media@thehardrockshow.com is the best email. It's the best contact for us as well. But yeah, so basically you're going to get some stuff on Thursdays. It's just going to be a different format. I will do a video and it'll explain it all and so on and so forth. There'll be some polls going on and that kind of stuff too. For Patreon people, if nothing else, get involved at the $2 tier, because you're going to be voting on our next King of the Riff season as well. So got to get that sorted out and basically set up the next half of this year to sort of come on home strong, as only we know how to do it, which is usually drunkenly. So we do things here. I think that's about it. I can't think of what else I've got to fucking tick off here apart from getting to the bin and getting out of here. But we're going to take a couple of weeks off. I'll still be doing things behind the scenes. But yeah, everyone needs a break when we get to this point of the year, just because I know, Jeff, you're keen. I'm keen. We'll do some stuff. But for everyone else,
I'm done. We'll be doing. Yep.
We need to bear in mind that what we do, for the people that don't know, takes a lot of hours, a lot of time, a lot of prep, a lot of, a lot of your life goes into doing this sort of stuff. It may not seem like it because we're loose as fuck and all that kind of stuff, but the commitment
this is passion. This is life.
And it's that commitment that everyone shows, no matter how often or not they're here, everyone a part of our little family behind the scenes, they put in a lot. And it's important to give everyone that breather. Otherwise, you'll get burnt out, and that means we lose people along the way, which has happened. Like, it's not a thing that doesn't happen, but we want to avoid that.
Everyone we have is important. It really is.
Everyone we've ever had is important on the history show and everything we've done. But that's the whole thing here, is that we take a couple of weeks off middle of the year to reset, take a breath, come back and then do the next sort of half of the year before we hit, we usually wrap up early December and then we're done for about a month after that. So we usually have 2 weeks mid of the year, about a month off the end of the year, just trying to get ourselves the batteries because it does take a lot out of you. I know it doesn't look like it. We're a bit fucking whatever, but it does. There's a lot that goes in.
We all have jobs. We all have lives. We all have families. We all have other interests.
Yeah, and we're human. There's only so much in the tank, so you got to take a break. Just like I said though, just make sure you're following, keep up to date. You will see more from us in the very near future. Don't worry about that. But I think that's really about the boxes ticked. Am I missing anything, guys, or am we just gonna do
this? I don't think so.
All right. Win or bin? What have you got, Dave? Let's go to you first. Let's get out of here.
I got both. Obviously, my win is the Ghost movie and Ghost in general. I am completely immersed in this world. I think they're fucking amazing. My bin is ads on YouTube. Now, once again, I've been catching up with the Ghost world, so I've been watching a lot of YouTube to their official channels and like the mythology. Now, some of the ads on YouTube, I got a pretty fucked up, twisted sense of humor. This is not helping. It's not helping. So when you have the TAC ad about when you drive on less than 5 hours sleep, you're more than 10 times likely to have an accident. And it cuts to the child in the back and the guy driving along, and he's falling asleep, and it's smash. And it cuts to black. Cuts to the next ad. When you break an Oreo cookie in half, you're going to get cream on both sides.
Wow.
That's gold. Oh, fuck, that's good.
I lost my fucking shit. I couldn't stop giggling. So that can get in the bin because that's really hard, but it's funny.
Funny. Yeah. Oh, fuck. You know, I've been around each other a lot, man, over the years. I'll tell you that. Oh, fuck. Anything else there, man?
No, I'm good. I'm done.
Oh, cool. All right, Jeff, I see you changed your hat.
I changed my hat for a good reason because my win and bin are the same.
Yeah.
So, well, look,
they did well, man. They did well. Even from a Calgary fan, you did well. Like,
yeah. So look,
and you know how deep the rivalry runs.
The rivalry in Calgary is huge, right?
Yeah.
So I've got a couple hats, Oilers, hockey, and Edmonton. Yeah. So look, I've been a long time fan of the Oilers, probably longer than I've been a fan of. I believe it. I have another team as well, the Red Wings. Yeah. But I adore them both. So when they play together, it's fucking it's crazy.
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. I just flip a coin and go, okay, I'm going with them tonight. Look. So for those of you who don't know, the Stanley Cup, the championship, is the hardest trophy in all of sports to win. And the reason I say that is because, first of all, you have to play 82 games in the regular season, okay? And then if you make the top 16 teams, those teams go into the Stanley Cup playoffs. And then it's 4 rounds of best of 7s, which is fucking insane. So that means in order to win the Stanley Cup,
is that right?
I think so, yeah. So in order to win in order to win the cup, you have to win 16 games in the playoffs. And those games are best of 7. So you could theoretically play 7 games for 4 rounds. That's 28 games to then win the Stanley Cup. So the Oilers made the final 2. Yeah. And they played the Panthers. And so then the Panthers came out swinging, bang, 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 won the first 3 games. All they needed to do was win 1 more. But a history, only one team since 1942 has ever come back from that deficit. Only one. And that was the Toronto Maple Leafs against the Red Wings. And only 4 teams in history have ever made it a series, made it to 7 games.
Yeah.
The Oilers did that. They came back and they won game 4, which everyone thought they couldn't do. They won game 5 and they won game 6, made it a full series, best of 7. So now it's going 7th game, and I kind of thought in the back of my mind, like, fuck, the luck has got to run out at some point. And but if they can win, great. then
It was
they'll become.
close too. Yeah.
And so it was the final game was a 2-1 game. All they had so many chances. They, ringing them off the fucking goalpost and just missed on so many alternative chances, but they didn't do it. But I love them, and I'll always love them. They did, like I said, they're going to go down in the history books anyway as only one of 4 teams to ever do what they did. And so Stanley Cup is. Yeah, I obviously being Canadian, I grew up with it, so that has a lot to do with it as well. Yeah, as much as you guys are AFL and fucking NRL and all that stuff,
cricket,
in cricket, multiply that by
Canada's
more Canadians.
Land. Yeah,
Canada's hockey land. Even though hockey is not our national sport, it should be. It's not. Our national sport is no, it's not curling. It's lacrosse.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But it should be unofficially hockey is. But yeah. So that's my win. That's my bin. Obviously, I'm disappointed that they lost. But my win is the fact that they did what they fucking did.
That, yeah.
And that's amazing. And I'm telling you what that's going to do. That is going to inspire so many young kids that have now seen this. To take up hockey and want to be, because Connor McDavid, not only on the road to that, he broke a bunch of records. Yeah. So he ended up getting 42 points in the playoffs, which is fucking massive next to Gretzky. And he did break he broke one of Gretzky's all-time records in which he had 2 games, back-to-back games, where he got 4 points. He's the only player to ever do that in the history of the game, which is pretty amazing. So I love my hockey. I love my Oilers, and I hope to see them now. They should be back. I don't think that coach is going anywhere. They brought him in.
It's always hard to get back there again.
Yes, it is. It is. But look, in the 80s, in the 90s, the Oilers won. They were at the Stanley Cup Finals 7 times, and they won 5 of them. So they won 5 out of 7
times.
Team
for a while.
They were a dynasty. That was when Gretzky played with them, of course.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my bin and win. And look, I'm sorry to bother the shit of everybody, but I had to. And it's one of those things. Yeah. Like you probably won't hear about it again anymore like that for another year.
Yeah.
Hopefully they make it.
Okay. Quick extra win. 29 minutes ago, it was announced by Wednesday 13. He's jumping into the recording studio next month. Ooh. And new album will be out early next year.
Nice.
Album number 10.
Okay, there's a win.
Yeah. That's a fucking win.
Yeah, cool. All right, for mine, how do I put this? There's both here. I'm just trying to think about the right way to word this. But fuck, I'm just going to go for broke anyway. My bin is straightforward. It's just lack of communication, and I'm guilty. I'm not a saint in this one, but just the lack of communication and the problems that can cause. That's my bin. It's oblique, it's subtle, it's those things, but it's just one of those things on my mind in the last 24 hours in particular. Maybe I'll tell you guys after we finish the stream, but it's been some shit, and it's just sort of like I hate just not being up front, and it just fucking irks me. You guys know me. I'm happy to take on feedback. I'll tell you guys what I think as well. I just rather have that open platform. Don't like playing games in that space, and people that do that can just fuck off. My win though is my dad getting home from the hospital. Like you,
I was going to ask you, dude. Yeah, that's good news.
He got home yesterday, so he spent the best part of a week or so in hospital, which is a bit of a thing, but he's on the mend. He's got a few things to look after, but he's on the mend, and so okay, cool. That's my win.
That's fucking great,
man. So yeah, he's home, resting, doing all the things he should do. So that's the grateful part of all the shit we do is fun, but when the real world sort of kicks your own ass for a while, then those things are the ones that matter the most. And so yeah, my old man, he's home, everything's okay. There's a few things to just get ahead of, but mostly speaking, everything should be fine from this point forward if everything goes to plan, which is never a guarantee, but we're pretty good at this point in time. So from where we were a week ago to where we are today, worlds apart. So grateful, if nothing else. And a win is just, things working out in that regard. So it's much more of a win than a bin this week. And that's why I'd rather go into the break on a high, because that was a good one to have. And I'll take that with me as we take a little break here and move on, because it's good to get onto a high note and move on from that regard. So love you, Dad. Hopefully we'll catch up soon when I get down to Melbourne at some point in the near future as well. All right, final comments from the audience before we get out of here. What do we got here? Vinny says, enjoy your break, legends. We will try. Don't worry about that. Rowan says, specular and Lambert components of the bin. The joke doesn't work if you don't say bin. I have no idea. Blin? I don't know, man. Like, that's way too niche.
Too late for this. Too late for that stuff.
Too late. I'm too drunk. That's too niche. I'm not going to try. Sorry. What do we got here? Bash says, have a great break, Hard Rockers. Thank you. Likewise. Rowan says, had changed from Jeff. Yes, we got that one. Kat says, have a good break, guys. Go do what you dudes do. We will be back. Don't worry, we're not going anyway. Are you human? Some might debate that, but we try to be. Michael says, in the bin, Oilers, get a music cap.
That shit. I got a music cap.
Yeah, you do. And Vinny says, better for everyone all around that he's home to recover. It'll be good to commend you all. Yes,
in the bin, stock take tomorrow. I just realized I got to be fucking human.
Oh my god! All right, we got to get out of here because we're all going to get up, except for Jeff, but the rest of us got to get up fucking bright and early tomorrow. So
I'm lucky. I'm on my weekend, so
you are. But everyone out there, look after yourselves. You will see stuff from us. Don't worry about that. But we're just going to take a break from the quote unquote real live stuff for the next couple of weeks, just to recharge, reset, and come back for the second half of the year nice and strong. Until then, I'm Andrew. Dave is with us. Conrad is with us. Jeff is with us. On behalf of Conrad and Belle at home, and everyone else behind the scenes at the show, including everyone else too. The show, the cast of the show, past, present, and future for that matter. Thank you all so much. We'll be back again in a couple of weeks. Look after yourselves, please. We want to see you back here very, very soon. Yeah. Until then, though, you know what to do. As always,
drink
up and rock on, folks. We'll see you.
Cheers.
Very soon. Look after yourselves.
Oilers number one.
Nah, man. Flames. Fuck you guys.
Oilers number one. Fuck you.